How do you prevent that, and how does, as an industry, you guys reach down to that level?
I think this is a question that all of us can make an answer, because you deal with athletes too, but I'll be quick. For me, because I was a former athlete, I kind of put myself in the shoes of my client, and I tell families and my clients, one of them will lie to you, two of them will sugarcoat it, because it does nothing for me anymore. It's no point. How I educate them is I act as if it were me. And so because my career got cut short after my senior year, hurt my shoulder in baseball, I knew immediately I needed to be smarter in what I was doing. And so I look at it, and then I grow over time. So I try to educate them immediately, and I let them know what this means. Hey, you're gonna get an LLC because they can help you with taxes and things of that, or you're in a higher tax bracket now. You don't make $50,000 in NIL money. You're making $750,000 league minimum. You have different things that come equipped. So I try to spoon feed them as early as possible, but I give them a why. You got to give them a real world example of why this is important. That's the only way to translate to athletes.
There's so many athletes that aren't even talking to you folks yet. They're the ones I'm talking about. How do you get them before they sign something that they don't even know what?
You show up in places like this. Yeah. You keep speaking. Anytime somebody asks you to speak, if this is a passion of yours, I'll go speak anywhere. If somebody wants me to speak, especially athletes or like-minded professionals, you keep showing up at these places. And so somebody's going to take away some things that we say on the panel today, and then they're going to go home and spread it. And it's going to spread, it's going to spread. So you keep showing, if you care about the education piece, you keep showing up.
Also, for example, as you can find accelerators for tech founders or incubators for tech founders, you might also find something similar for athletes. Incubators where they give them the right tools to start going solid. I've seen that in Argentina, for example, for soccer players, they have that. They tell you about legal challenges, IP challenges, marketing challenges, etc., etc., etc. So that's another way of learning from early stages, what do you have to do.
Hi everyone, I'm Lorena Garcia and I'm working on AI platforms. And my son is a musician who is going to graduate this May. And I came here because sometimes the regulations are behind the technology. And I think that we need to work as a community, companies, academy, and lawyers, and government, and everybody. But do you know which is the best way to do it, at least here in Miami? Talking about intellectual property, rights of the athletics and musicians, with platforms with AI to don't abuse with the use of these avatars, voices, all the things that we are doing in the AI platforms. Do you know who is working on that? Or if we need to start something to create these groups trying to understand in the different point of views, technologies, government, academy.
This is where I ask for help.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, I do have some communities, mainly with lawyers, where we're sitting down and we're just like, what just happened, right? Like you may have noticed Matthew McConaughey, Taylor Swift, they're not filing trademark applications to protect their voice, just other ways of, and more creative ways of protecting your name, image, likeness, which refers to actually a different area of law than federal trademark law. It's actually a state law, and you got patchwork all over the United States on this. So there are some conversations, and I've had through companies that I work for, they're public policy folks, we're thinking about that. But from a community standpoint, I'd love to see more. I had initially, a lot of these same ideas that we're talking about during this blockchain NFT explosion. I mean, blockchain's still very much alive and doing well, but I would say more the NFT explosion. I was getting so many questions every day. It was just kind of like a high phenomenon, and people were paying attention. There were big dollar signs. That I feel like I was saying the same thing over and over again. And so I had started a community, and we just went and talked to different groups. Like, my ask for you is going to be like, hey, can we get together and with a bunch of your, like, if it helps your athletes, we can have free talks, and I know I have some other colleagues in the room that will say absolutely yes, because we deeply care about these issues, and the more that we're able to get together and have this brain trust, I think the better. There's also my quick plug-in for small business groups. It's not just tech focused, though there's a lot of really great tech, and I'm happy to, we can talk about what those are. But there's also just like, you are a business, you're an athlete, like you're making money because of something that you're doing, like you're a business. So treat yourself like a business. There's the Small Business Administration. There's a lot of small business organizations just here in Miami that have a bunch of resources that I've spoken to, or CPAs and other people that help small businesses are there and willing to chat about, you know, some of the basics.
Yeah.
So very quick, there's someone thinking about what you say, not dearly, but I think it's needed. I don't know if it's the right solution, but it's a little creepy. An open AI is doing kind of a proof of human, taking people's retina in order to prove that what you're doing is done by you. So it's a check to differentiate, but it's creepy at the end of the day, right? So I don't know if it's the right solution, but those that are leading somehow this new world, they are aware of that, and I don't know how it's gonna work, but at least it's on the mind. What I'm seeing, and I think it's also quite good, is that we are becoming more human. We are being more aware. If you think about some companies are looking for community builders and people that create events like real life, like in real world, and they are a high-paid position. Before it was kind of an entry position or interns. Now they want people that are really connected in the ecosystem, that want to gather people and put people together to exchange ideas. So somehow I think they're calling.
Well, guys, we need to finish. We don't have much time. They are telling us to finish. I'm sorry. Next time, they don't have a time to chat all together. But thank you very much, guys, for this time. I really appreciate it. I don't know who's next, but thank you very much. Okay. Oh, there you go.
No, I think they're coming up. I know you were the one. Yeah.
Sí, de hecho, hola, how are you? Sí, me encantaría.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. I know that we were a bit, behind on schedule, but we'll go ahead and catch up. So good morning, everyone. My name is Jessica Lamore. I am an entertainment, sports, and media attorney at Sidley Austin. On the sports side, I work a lot with stadium transactions, team acquisitions, and on the entertainment side, I work a lot on movies, TV series, concert films, music, record label deals, a lot of entertainment on that end, but less about me. We're gonna go ahead and get into this panel. I'm really excited to be joined by three incredible panelists. We already had an opportunity to hear from Rebecca. I'm excited to hear more. But I'm going to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves. But first, just so you know that this panel is about intellectual property as a strategic asset. So we're gonna have these three panelists introduce themselves.
Is it still morning? Yes.
Yes, it
Good
is.
morning. I'm Kimra Major Morris, and I am an intellectual property attorney of almost 2 decades. specifically in trademarks and copyrights. I've also done a lot of entertainment. Many of my clients are athletes, agents like Orlando, where I'm advising the agent as to helping them look better, giving their clients some direction. I also do intellectual property risk management for leadership development, and I go into schools. Someone asked a question about educating at an early age. I go into schools where they're creatives and people majoring in business.
Oh, of course. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Good morning again. For those of you who weren't here, I'll briefly reintroduce myself. My name is Rebecca P. Bellier. I've been practicing for about 10 years now, and I started off at a big law firm called Ackerman, representing Fortune 500 companies. Also working in entertainment and sports, M&A, lots of deal work. And then I went in-house to Amazon Music, and there I negotiated over $1 billion in transactions before starting my own law firm, RPB Law Firm, where I'm the managing partner. We also have our client intake associate here, so I want to give her a shout out because she's been so helpful and brought us some wonderful snacks, so please feel free to help yourself.
Thank you.
And yeah, now currently our firm, we focus on entertainment, we focus on intellectual property and corporate, supporting entrepreneurs as well. So very excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. My name is Coach Nick Carney. I'm a board-certified IP attorney. I'm also a registered patent attorney, so we do patents. I own my own law firm. I've been an IP attorney for 14 years. I love IP. I have an engineering background, so always something I wanted to do, especially patent law. So at Nick Carney, we do IP and business work. Most of my clients are small and medium business owners. Happy to be here.
Well, thank you all. We're excited to learn from your expertise. So we'll start with my first question to you, Cameron. From your experience, what is the biggest missed opportunity when individuals fail to organize their IP early on?
It's so stressful for them because
Where do I start?
I felt that in my soul because it's something when I'll give you an example. I meet clients that are having the biggest moments of their lives. Okay, the deal is on the table, and it's almost like you don't want to come in similar to the music industry as an artist, and there you are, the artist, just waiting for instruction. That's not a position of strength. And as a business person, you're an athlete, and of course, what I find is the tunnel vision effect, where people say, "This is what I do. That's not my lane," and then they leave it. It's not even delegated. They just think it's going to work out. So when you don't protect your name, or worse, you have a name that you haven't even vetted. And I was saying yesterday that this is like a title search for a house. You don't just start building on the land. You make sure no one else owns it. And one of the issues is people haven't identified what a strong trademark looks like. And we talk about NIL, name, image, and likeness. One of the things that athletes can do too is make sure they're protecting their images. I've got clients who are professional athletes on the world stage, and they have photographers who travel with them, and there are no agreements in place for who owns those images, and by default, the photographer owns them. So you've got somebody you're paying thousands of dollars every week to follow you and take pictures, and now when you need them, when there's the documentary that's coming up, you've got to get permission, or there's this gray area. Partnerships, that's another one. You've got friends, we have friends, and we have business people. And there's just nothing happening. If you say, if I say, "Hey, Rebecca, let's start this company together," and then we start an LLC, and we're both on the contract or that LLC, and now we go our separate ways. Who owns that trademark? We see it a lot in the music industry. So just not being intentional, thinking that things will fall into place is the biggest issue. And the problem it causes is it's limiting for the opportunities you can take advantage of, or how much leverage you can get out of each one.
Thank you so much. That actually reminds me of a deal I worked on where the asset was not, the ownership wasn't clear. Many people had their hands in it, and we weren't able to close that deal because some people refused to hand it over. So because of that, because of the failure to structure that early on, that deal was lost, and it was for a lot of money, but that person just refused to give it over because it was almost their, especially when you're working with creatives, that's their baby, that's their thing that they truly love and enjoy. So when it came to us, provide, some people, it was actually shocking, at least for us, where it wasn't a monetary value for that person to give it up. So it was either they have those approvals or they walk, and that's what happened. The deal ended up ending up, so.
And if you don't mind me piggybacking on what you said, you cannot sell what you don't own.
Correct.
Right? So if you want to be able to monetize your brand and monetize what you're doing, you need to first and foremost own it before you can sell it. And that can absolutely kill a deal. I mean, think about like some of these big deals, right? When Instagram was sold to Facebook, what if Facebook was like, okay, great, we're excited to purchase this company, and Instagram's like, one thing, we don't own the rights to the name Instagram or the logo, the image, right? That could truly kill a deal, even though they've had the entire infrastructure of the company. The actual name is one of the most important assets, the logo, the branding, that's so important. So keep in mind, if you want to monetize it, you gotta own it. So you gotta actually transfer something.
Absolutely. So my next question is for you, Costa. How do you approach evaluating IP assets across patents, trademarks, and copyrights in today's market?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think when clients come to me, there's a lot of ambiguity in terms of who owns the IP or the agreements, when it comes to assignment agreements or the assignment agreements in place. Is the ownership under if it's a patent under the inventor's name, or is it under an LLC or an IP holding company? So the first challenge is to understand the chain of title as to who owns the IP. And without that, forget about monetization, forget about enforcement. It's a waste of your time and money. In my opinion, you have to first, once that's clear, when you understand who owns the IP, then you have to also understand what type of IP we're talking about. Are we talking about patents? Are we talking about trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets? My understanding, I strongly believe about it, is not all IP is the same, right? Patents have their value in certain situations, trademarks have their value in certain situations, copyrights, so on and so forth. So you have to always understand that for a particular business or a particular athlete, where is that value coming from? Is it coming from that invention? Is it coming from that brand, NIL, or trade secret? Once you understand that, then the next step is, well, is it protected? Is it exclusive to you and your company? To me, valuation is also not, hey, I just own a patent. Yeah, great, you own a patent, and you have a little certificate that's hanging on the wall that you can brag about. I mean, I know inventors that have 50 patents, but have not really monetized on it because they don't understand the value of it. So a huge part of valuation of IP also comes understanding whether that IP is right IP for what I'm trying to commercialize or commercially exploit. There's traditional methods also when it comes to IP valuation. There's cost approach, there's income approach, there's market approach. Those traditional approaches work, but now more than ever, you're seeing digital platforms, you're seeing IP across all borders. It's not limited just to the United States. We have certain, when it comes to patents, trademarks, copyrights, we have treaties and agreements, conventions, foreign conventions, copyrights that allows you to protect your intellectual property not here in the United States, but worldwide too. So now your scope and your territory of your rights and how you want to monetize is not restricted to borders. So, it's an exciting time, in my opinion, to be in the IP world.
Absolutely. And to that end, Rebecca, I'd love to know your insight. I know you worked on billion-dollar deals. How did valuing those assets structure the deals that you were working on?
I mean, there's so many different aspects of one deal. But again, kind of to my example earlier, right? When you're in the middle of a deal, you're doing something called diligence, right? The very first step is you're going to conduct diligence, and we're going to determine is what they're saying they're selling actually what they're selling, right? I tell some of my founders that I work with that we're in the middle of deal work, I tell them, think of it as someone coming into your home and opening every single drawer. They want to be able to see every single nook and cranny, because no one's going to want to spend millions of dollars on a company if they don't know what they're buying. So again, you really want to structure your company, you really want to structure your business in a way that even if you don't want to sell it, that you're prepared to sell it. Because you want to dot all your I's, check all your T's, and the diligence process is not just purely intellectual property, that is one aspect of it, but again, the IP is so important, because imagine if there is an issue with the chain of title, right? Think of it the same way as you're purchasing a home. If you're giving your hard-earned money to this person, and then come to find out this person's not even the owner of it. So again, it's really just making sure that you structure things in a way that, again, there's different provisions that you can put in here in case someone says this is what it was and it wasn't, but we don't want to have to follow those indemnification provisions and whatnot. You really want to make sure that you're going into a good deal and that you're able to actually justify, hey, this is what they said they would. You have something called reps and warranties, where you're making a representation and a warranty as to the status of this business at this given time. Because the worst thing is acquiring a business, acquiring a brand, and the deal is so bad. You know, I mean, we've heard it in the news. I can't remember her name. She was on Forbes 30 Under 30. What's her name? Charlotte. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But she sold a business with all these fake users, and that stuff was not verified prior. So what are we buying? Like, what are we buying here? So again, I think it's so important that yes, we want to. You know, the IP is really important. But there's so many moving pieces to a business, and we want to make sure collectively and holistically that this is a good transaction, this is a good deal, and that the goodwill of the company is actually going to be transferred to you.
So to that point, Kimra, I go back to you to ask about, just in this fast-paced, moving, digital-first world where people are just producing, what does owning your IP really look like?
That's a great question. What is the issue here with AI? It poses challenges mainly because of the speed, right? Name, image, and likeness is not new. In fact, in 2012, I worked with Trayvon Martin's family. That was my first NIL experience, right? Because what happened? People were making video games with someone with a hoodie, carrying a bag of Skittles with an iced tea. And that's an example of likeness. It's not Trayvon, but now you put this image in this character in a video game, and it's offensive. So this is when I first learned that publicity rights are statewide in 2012. So likeness, you know, your images. What does it look like in this digital age? It goes back to those pictures. Everyone has family pictures. If you have a favorite profile picture, doesn't hurt to send that to the copyright office, because if there's a copycat page, then not only are you complaining to the platform that this is an impersonation, but now you can level it up and say it's also copyright infringement, because I have a registration for that, and the platform will respond a lot faster. Many people don't know that. If you have a business page, you have your business logo, you're reporting to Facebook, Instagram, any of these platforms, the internet service provider is required to honor your intellectual property rights. And if you can present your registration, you're going to get a whole lot of respect versus the person that's just mad.
Game over. Slide on that piece of paper, and it's like, why? Oftentimes people are reactive and not proactive, right? We want to be proactive and protect our stuff, and not be on the back end and trying to fight it down, because that's going to take time, energy, and effort that honestly we don't have.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to put a pin in it and say, to answer the question, I guess in a concise way, with this digital environment that we're in, being proactive instead of reactive, but understanding that AI, the speed in which people can infringe upon your rights is astounding. And what we can do is make sure that we have the foundational elements in place. Copyright your images, your videos, your music, whatever artistic works, and protect the brand names, your personal name if you're a public figure, etc.
That's such a great point. And to that end, Costello, I want to see your connection to it. In this fast pace, how are you balancing, when you're advising your clients, how are you balancing that protection versus that commercialization, given how quick everything is going?
Yeah, I mean, I think our previous panel said that to education. Like when I do my consult with my clients, I'm not just an IP attorney, I'm an IP educator. So I tell them the importance of intellectual property protection, I tell the importance of timing. Timing is a huge thing when it comes to intellectual property protection, especially when it comes to patents, right? You invent something now, time is fleeting, it's not in your hands. Somebody else is going to come and do something similar to yours, file that patent, get a patent, and then you're still working on bringing this idea to fruition. So that's one thing I always tell my clients to work on your time, identify your intellectual property, what are types of intellectual property you have, where's the chain of title, all that stuff. When I consult my clients, the education part goes into it because, like you said, we're now in a digital age where infringement is much more common and much more rampant than it was in the previous years, right? Intellectual property also is ubiquitous, right? You go anywhere online, you see logos, you see proprietary information being displayed, so it's much easier for people to copy and infringe, more so I would say than before the advent of internet.
And then we're dealing with the government here. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It's not like you submit and tomorrow you get your registration. This stuff takes time, lots of time, and it just continues. With more people now protecting their IP ever than before, those wait times are months and months and even sometimes years. So it's not something that can happen overnight. So the more proactive you are, the better that you plan. It's gonna just have a better outcome, and you're not gonna be on the back end trying to fight it, trying to prove I use this first and priority dates and all the things. No, let's be proactive, build on a strong foundation that you own.
Yeah, like she said, like, for example, I think Jessica, you can say as a trademark attorney, 8 months for the application of examine trademark application, right?
Now we're at like 5 to 7.
5 to 7 months. Patents 23 months on an average. Imagine, like, you have a great idea, it takes 23 months and that's if everything goes well, you don't get pushback from the patent office. So timing is crucial.
Absolutely. For us, a lot of things we work on with timing with regard to the movies and the ideas there is really just protecting it in advance. So all of our work in the beginning is making sure all of the certificate of engagement, the talent agreements, everything is aligned so that once this is released, there's a clean defense. There's a clean defense once you're going into making this project. So for us, a lot of the background is a lot of paper, and we find a lot of executives, they get frustrated. All the time they'll call me, Jessica, when is this deal gonna close? We need it to close now to make this happen. I'm like, well, given that this talent hasn't signed off yet, or if it's a concert film, given that the background dancers have not signed off yet, this is important because then they can have a claim once this film comes out and it's making all this money. So we find actually for our clients, it's a lot of what I found lately, that it's a lot of managing the clients in that once they're super excited about releasing something, you have to let them know that yes, you can be really excited. We're going to make sure you're protected once this is released.
And to her point, and Kimber's point, you guys both mentioned it, there's something called a work made for hire, right? When you are hiring people, so the example that she gave, there's an athlete that hired a photographer, and there was no work made for hire in place, which means they are transferring their rights into this IP to me because I hired you for this, right? You hereby assign this IP to me. Because if I want to do it now, if I want to do something with it now, I need to have the rights. So the same thing with what she's saying. There's a concert film. We need to make sure we have all the rights from all the players so now we can exploit it. If you don't have that right in place, guess who's coming after you once you have leverage and once that film has blown up? And guess who's going to have a horrible time, a very lousy time negotiating that? You don't have leverage anymore because now this is blown up. So in those instances, I'm like, good luck, but.
and it's something I want to say because we litigate too. The amount of money and time you can waste in litigating is far greater than you taking the time, hiring the attorney to understand where the risks are ahead of time.
And I think there's a knowledge of that too, with how people are allocating their fees. So when we hire a production company, now their fees are extra, like much more than it would have been a year ago, because now they have to chase every person, the cinematographer, the dancer, the musician. They have to do that chasing, and it's not fun so the amount, so we have our clients like, okay, well, we'll just do it. And that actually happened. So now we as the attorneys, we were chasing each attorney that was representing the dancer or the musician, and they're like, oh my gosh, we should have paid the producer because our fees are truly expensive. So it becomes a thing where people who are providing that value, they understand the value behind it, so you're able to monetize what you're providing in a way that you can get a little bit more money as well, just to prevent the extra that would come if it's not done correctly. I'm sorry, Rebecca. So just playing a little bit off of that, Can you share about how IP can unlock new revenue streams beyond traditional licensing and things of that sort?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to monetize, like even just, and it's a form of licensing, but not the typical licensing, but think of like franchising, for instance, right? Franchising is a really easier way to scale, and it's essentially you're taking your IP and you're allowing someone to take their capital and invest it into your business to grow, and you're getting these royalty deals. There's white labeling, for instance, right? Maybe you create something and someone wants to be able to use that, and now you can white label it. Does everybody here know what white labeling is? No? Yes? Okay, so like take this bottle of water. I created this bottle of water. Let's pretend it's something a little bit more fancier. I can sell it without a label, so now you can slap your label on it. That's a way that you can continue to monetize. If you're creating content, right? I have a client now that he created a curriculum, and he has about four or six, I can't remember, 6-figure deals though with different universities. He is taking his curriculum, he doesn't even have to teach it. He at one point was going and teaching it. Now he's white labeling these curriculums to different universities that are teaching about AI, and those are 6-figure checks without doing anything else. You've already created the content. You don't have to do anything else except negotiate the deal. So there's so many different ways that you can take what you're doing and take, like, the IP already exists, but now how do I flip it and continuously monetize it in multiple different ways?
That's incredible. I want to continue, but I know we're a little bit stretched on time, so I want to give everyone an opportunity to ask questions if you have any. I see a hand here, so please.
I want to follow your point. If I'm a professor and I teach at the University of Miami, for example, about AI, and as a side product, I developed the curriculum. I also broadcast it live, and I also use AI to teach the students. I brought AI as a participant on Zoom. So AI listens to my broken English, and AI takes my broken English, translates it to American accent, transcribes it, and publish it on the website. And I've done it for a long time. So in addition to that, I reverse engineer algorithms such as trading cryptocurrency, and I apply to the search engine and figured out how to top the SERP. SERP is search engine results page. So the question is, who owns the property? And I did it all on my own. It is a side product of my teaching, and only my students know about it. I didn't tell it to the university because I don't want to deal with the lawyers there. On the other hand, yeah, no, this is the lawyers at the university. That is the second issue, is to find a lawyer that you have to be qualified by the university, so the university qualifies you, and then I have several dozen patents that I didn't want to register also yet, related to that, of business method and so on. The question is, who owns it, first of all, and what risk am I taking by telling it to the university, and they are denying me don't let me publish anything, don't let me register the patents, and hassle me, and I'm concerned about it.
I want to take this one. In law school, the answer that we were taught is it depends.
Scheduling concept.
Right, is it a work for hire?
Yes.
You know, because it's in the scope of your job as an employee to teach.
Yeah, but they just tell me to teach. They don't tell me what to do. And the curriculum, especially when the AI transcribes it and narrates it, if you listen to it, you wouldn't know that it is me if you didn't see my image on it.
It's not a question that we can answer in comments, but quickly I want to address that. Typically in an employer-employee setting, whatever you create during the course of employment using the employer's resources, the IP automatically is owned by the employer, unless your agreement states.
Most of the resources is mine. The university provides Zoom, but all the audios and videos are published on my own server, in addition to the university server, which is proprietary and only the students can access it. But to teach the students, I publish it on a public website and provide everybody access, which has nothing to do with the university, and I'm afraid to tell them even because they will be hassling the hell out of me.
Yeah, I think you should talk to one of us.
I agree with that, but then also again, to piggyback off what both of my colleagues up here are saying, typically when you are employed to do something, it's kind of what I was talking about earlier, work made for hire, but there's something called a carve out where you can actually say, hey, I want to carve out these particular projects or whatever it may be. It's essentially like, this is what the general rule is, but I'm carving out this. So I'm gonna give a great example. We have our client intake associate here. She works for my firm, but she's also an MBA student creating technology to help founders decide what kind of IP they need. So when me and her were in negotiation, she's like, hey, I really wanna carve out this product that I'm making. And of course, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I entertain that because I want her to be able to come into my firm and we need to be able to co-collaborate. But she has something that is pre-existing IP that she's created. So that's a perfect example of a carve-out. Now, I hope you're okay with me giving that example, Taylor. But I love it because Taylor is not even yet in law school, but thinking about IP as an actual product and an asset because you want to be able to monetize what you're building. So again, the difference is that what is your, the first question is what does your agreement say with the University of Miami, right? But there's lots of different other factors that come into play as well.
Taylor, let me know if you need an IP attorney.
I also want to make a quick point. Those were excellent, but one thing we didn't touch on was exit strategy. As a business owner, as talent, or whatever, I love what I do. I know everyone up here loves what they do, but what is the exit strategy? And one of the reasons we need to protect the IP is at some point, we're gonna have to turn it over somewhere. And the estate planning attorneys will tell you if Michael Jackson and Prince can not have all their copyrights protected, then we're no different. And we just have to be intentional about protecting these things for the handover.
Can I make a quick comment? Because today's World IP Day, and I think what's important also for us to understand the history, right? And I see this on behalf of all the IP attorneys, we can brag about it, that intellectual property is one of the very few areas of law that's in the US Constitution, right? Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8. So you have to understand, even the framers of the Constitution understood the importance of protecting intellectual property back in 1787. So hundreds of years later, we sit here today on World IP Day, where IP, in my opinion, has become more relevant as an intangible asset more than any brick and mortar or tangible assets that business have. Big companies like Apple, Google have billions, if not trillions of dollars worth of market value because of their IP portfolio. And it's a great day to be an IP attorney, in my opinion.
And with that, we're going to close this panel. We thank you all for joining us. We thank you for our panelists. And have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. First, Jean is asking that all panelists go outside just for a quick group shot, and we are going to have a brief intermission. We do have refreshments over here, just for about 10 minutes, and then we'll pick back up with our third panel, okay? Our fourth panel, excuse me.
Okay, turn your camera on, please. So then turn it off.
Attorneys, I'm going to ask him to come
The
online.
Indian one, asking the mail.
He's the smart one.
Yes. Where is he? He ran out already?
I don't know where he is. Or maybe we'll have to show him.
Yeah, okay, let me stay here and I'll talk to you. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. That was a great example.
What was great?
No, your question about what you build.
What do you like about it?
I like the fact that you.
What are you, an attorney or?
No, I'm not an attorney, but I like the fact that you went out of the box to create something like that.
Uh-huh.
And this is genius.
Why is it genius?
Because you did something that usually people don't do.
Yeah, well, you don't even know what it is, the details of it, but I appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, but you said that you use your own resources to do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think, yeah, this is...
Yeah, because the university wouldn't provide it, and I don't want even to tell them. So I appreciate your feedback. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, I've been wanting to introduce you.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about my situation.
No, I'm not. By the way, if you want to know the truth,
Yes.
in the university, you own your intellectual property.
Doesn't matter. I'm doing it just for the discussion.
Thank you so much for coming.
Are you an attorney too?
I'm later, a little later.
Oh, later, and what is your?
I'm on the venture investment side.
Uh-huh.
So I'm letting one of my friends who's an IP attorney.
Uh-huh.
She's an IP attorney.
Alyssa Tisdall. Okay.
What kind of an attorney?
All we do is intellectual.
How about patent? Are you doing patent too?
attorney. Every single attorney at my office.
So I'm looking for a patent attorney. Are you qualified by the University of Miami to serve on their patent committees and stuff like that, or you don't know about it? Or?
I don't know a ton about theirs, but yeah, am I qualified? Yeah, I'm licensed.
No,
for
but
the
they have
United
to qualify you. You have to be registered with the university as a qualified patent attorney.
Well, the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
I know, but the university has a committee
Oh,
that
does it?
they approve you, and then faculty.
They basically
Can-
send their
Got it.
faculty to their attorneys, I guess. But anyways, so where are you located?
Plantation.
Plantation.
And we're like one of the largest IP patents
Oh,
in
and
the
what do you
state.
and what do you specialize?
So I'm biochemistry, but we have electrical engineering.
You have a business card?
Or
Yeah, I do.
okay.
I have it in
Yeah,
there.
give
I'm
me
about
your
to go
business
on a
card.
panel.
She's coming on a panel.
Okay,
You want to take a
fine.
picture?
Yeah, let me take a picture.
I'm on LinkedIn. And
I'm on LinkedIn too.
And you can find
okay.
me right away.
Yeah, I'll just do it. Hold on, let me just-
Also, we are teaching about AI, and I'd like to do a webinar on Zoom about
It'd be great.
using AI for patent
Yeah, I got
and
it.
trademark registration, and I would like to have some panelists like you.
Yeah, perfect.
And for that, I don't need the university, so you
Yeah,
can
we've
forget
done a
about
lot
it.
of work in the past, our firm. With
So
the
maybe you can
resume.
bring in somebody else. And
I've got tons of
we like to have we have a panel of
Yes,
experts
in various areas.
in various areas, but this time about AI and law. There are very few people that
Know about it.
know actually about using it, not theories and so on.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Reach out.
Yeah, so I'll talk to you after your talk because I don't want to detain you.
Alyssa, let me introduce you to them too. So this is Alyssa. She's on the next two.
Send me a note. We're talking more. See if I can help.
Do you have a business card?
No, sir, but you can, do you want me to, I'll take.
It's all right. You can take my picture. And you heard my story, so
Yes.
maybe I'll get some venture capital with
Yes,
you.
I would love to connect, yes.
You have to understand a little bit of what it is. But what did you understand from my talk, from my question?
Oh, your question, that I missed. I heard what you were
missed
saying to
it?
her, yes.
Oh,
you're biochem. Okay.
You want to take a picture? I'll take a picture with this gentleman here.
Okay, here you go. Hi.
So yeah, we could definitely have a night. You guys litigate too? Awesome. Yeah. Right now, I'm mostly doing a lot of like counterfeiting stuff. No? Okay. What do you guys litigate?
I mean, we litigate federal court, but I do like a lot of trademark infringement cases, patent infringement cases here and
Southern District, right? Mostly.
I do. I've done middle. I've done.
You did a good job on
I
the.
do out of state.
You did a good job on the panel.
Yeah, let's connect.
Oh,
Do you have
thank
your
you.
phone on you?
I don't.
I haven't gone yet.
Do you want to just take a picture?
Sure.
But you were, I saw you sitting there earlier.
No, that wasn't me.
No, but it just
Yeah,
looked
absolutely.
like
Let's
you.
take a
maybe.
This is
You know,
like
like
some
talk
lady
about,
that just
you know,
looks
how we
like
can
you.
help each other, you know, refer each other cases as well.
You can see how people, witnesses can get confused.
Right.
Yeah, no,
And you know,
that's
I have to be honest with you,
okay.
like I don't do biochem. Last time I did biochem, I don't even remember. Most of my patents have been like mechanical mostly. Electrical also very few that I do. So if I ever get a biochem patent, you know, it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, you let me know because we have conflicts. Because we have like
Oh, yeah.
200 companies
Right,
that
sure.
are our clients, and we get conflicts.
No, of course, we'll do a conflict check too.
No, I mean, we get conflicts at work.
Ah,
Refer it out.
gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
I'd like to get your card when you go back to your purse.
sure.
No, I'd like to talk to you about the situation. I'm a professor of accounting and AI.
At University of Miami?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I heard that you did forensic work, so that's my specialty in AI and forensic accounting
Okay, good.
and IT
You know,
auditing.
I understood a little bit of your facts. Obviously, there's much more to
What
it.
did you understand?
The fact that you have created IP and now you're afraid to publish it or monetize it because you feel like University of Miami could come after you because of you don't know whether or not you created or it's owned by University
What
of Miami.
IP
right?
did you understand that I created?
Well, didn't you have some work that you did?
Do you have
that-
a business card, by the way?
No, but do you have
No?
your phone on you?
Okay.
I do have a business card. Do you have
You
your
can
phone?
take a picture. This is mine, basically. You have all
What's your
these.
name? It says Sarah on there.
Sarah. you
Oh, I
can-
have hers.
You have hers.
Yeah.
I'm married to her, so
Okay. I
you
have
can get
information.
on. Does my communication because when I'm talking with people,
Yeah.
because of my accent, they have trouble understanding.
I understand everything
You're
you're
a
saying.
foreigner too, so
I'm Indian, yeah.
yes, but Americans.
Where are you from?
Israel.
Oh, okay. I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
A lot of Israeli clients, by the way.
I understand what you are saying too, but Americans. This is also why I'm using AI because it narrates everything that I'm doing in.
But you have it's not like your accent is like even, I think you have a great.
Yeah, when I will quiz you, you'll see that you thought that you understood. So, so what did I say about the search engine optimization? Did you understand?
Yeah, you said you did something where you bought AI to search engine optimization, correct?
No.
No?
No.
Well, so what was
See,
it?
I didn't understand.
No, because there's so little time, and you were.
What did I say? You're an engineer.
Yeah.
I said, did you hear me say something about reverse engineering?
You tried reverse engineer search engine optimization?
No.
Then?
You see that you didn't understand. You
No.
heard it, but
Right.
hearing and understanding is. Wow, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. I don't want to distract you before your talk,
We're fine.
but you make me tense or something, so you'll be more relaxed after you're done.
I'm doing the next two. I was going to be on your panel.
Yeah, what happened?
But I didn't think I was going to be able to get here because I teach all before. So I was in plantation and I finished at my class at
It's a long ride.
5, and then I just came right down
Yeah,
here
yeah.
and it took me forever.
Oh yeah, now the traffic is crazy.
What is up with the lights? The timing of the lights down here.
There is also now a race, and they locked up
Oh,
about
the
a
F1.
lot of streets, so all the traffic comes here.
It's horrible. So
Yeah.
Well, the traffic has gotten exponentially crazier too coming to Miami. I mean, I should have every time I come to my office on 19 Bayshore from North Miami, it takes me like an hour. It's nuts from North Miami.
you live in the North Miami, technically North Miami.
I live in North Miami.
Where are you in North Miami?
12th and 134th.
Is that like Keystone area or no?
No, do you know where you take 123rd to go across to the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like kind of there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This
You live here in Miami?
No, I live up in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, you live in Fort Lauderdale.
And then my office is in Plantation.
So that's not bad, no?
No, the traffic does get bad,
Yeah.
but no, it's not bad.
Nice.
So.
I want to explain to you. Yeah, go ahead. I'll talk to you after you relax with your talk and you're done. No, well, you look very tense to me.
No, I don't
No,
see it.
maybe not.
I'm exhausted.
Maybe this is it,
I
because
did a
look how you
lecture.
stand like on one leg and leaning like this.
It's because I did a lecture yesterday that was about 5 or 6 hours, and then I taught
That's
this
it, maybe
morning.
exhausted.
You
is
teach
like-
at Nova?
No, I teach at American Heritage.
Oh, the school. Oh, what's her name? Lakshmi's daughters go there. Is that how you know?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see the connection now.
You live in
Oh,
you live in Miami?
I live in Miami, yes, North Miami.
So what I wanted to show you is that you didn't understand it at
Why
all.
don't
You
you tell me?
heard it.
Well, why don't you tell me? You keep focusing on what I don't understand. Why don't you tell me?
No, it's
what
not.
you said?
Don't misunderstand.
No,
me.
no, no.
It's my accent that makes it.
Yeah, but
it's
forget it.
one thing to hear the words,
Yeah.
which you did, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh,
But tell me a little bit about
what did I say about SERP, search engine
You tell me.
results page? You remember that I spoke about it? You remember that I
did,
said the
but,
words?
But trust me, there was a very short amount of time, and there was a lot happening. I was thinking about what I was going to say too.
Yeah, but
you know.
this is typical. It's one thing. The people that listen to me think that they understood, but when I quiz them, I realize that they didn't. And I don't do such a good job explaining it either. You may have understood the words and retained the words,
I still don't think your accent is that bad. If you're asking me, I don't think.
but
it's like,
compared to an American,
I mean, you can never compare your accent to American accent. I mean, that's understandable. But also, it's not like
because
where.
I test my students all the time after I lecture, and I can see
Really?
that, yeah, in advance I ask them, and they say, no, I understood everything. But
No, but I have, like I said, I have a lot of Israeli clients.
did you hear that I said search engine? I mean, SERP.
SERP?
SERP.
No.
Search engine search engine. Search engine. Forgot. I'm becoming a little senile too.
No, it's okay.
Anyways, it is, in other words, it is tapping the search engine.
Okay.
Remember that I say trading commodities and cryptocurrencies? So this is what I was teaching, and I reverse engineer of that for the trading algorithms, you understand?
Okay. Well, how did you reverse engineering it?
Well, I was working for years and years. I've been at the University of Miami more than 45 years.
Okay.
Anyways, but the point that I was trying to make to you is then I realized that the search engines are using similar algorithm to figure out the position. So then I started reverse engineering the search.
High-end processes?
I'm sorry?
Is it the high-end processes?
High-end
Is high in you?
No, not yet.
This is a Haitian accident?
Yes.
Okay. Like the United Nations, nobody understands nobody.
So, you know,
I
again,
figured out how to tap the search engine results page. SERP means search engine results page.
so you can, with your form, with your whatever you have created, you can go to any business and say, hey, I can get you on the top of the listing.
Right. Now then they come to me and they ask me, for example, Ryder Corporate, the Carnival Cruise,
Yeah.
they had shit on the walls. So when you go to Google and you type shit on the walls, they type the first page
Oh, that's not good.
with videos of shit on the walls.
Yeah.
And they came to me and they said, don't put, we're already number one, take us from the number one, at least put us at page 2 and 3.
3, right? Yeah.
But anyways,
But nobody, I mean, let's be honest with you, who looks at Google page 2 and 3? No one does. You know?
that's why. And they said, we already cleaned everything and litigation and everything, and people still keep.
So are you worried, like University of Miami is going to say that whatever you've created is owned by them? Is that what you're worried about?
Not the city of Miami, the University of Miami.
That's what I said, University of
I
Miami.
contacted the University of Miami and they told me I wanted to have a lawyer, so I had to give them a name of a lawyer, and then they have a committee that decides to approve or not approve a lawyer, and they have a whole slew of lawyers that are approved by them, and they want to give the job to these lawyers and not other lawyers.
But if you feel like you have created this on your own volition without using the university's resources, you have no obligation to go
I
back
know,
to the
but
university.
they can hustle me in so many ways and not let me teach what I want and give me
Yeah.
schedules that are bad.
They could retaliate. It's a private university too, right? So they could definitely,
That's
they could
right.
even fire you if they wanted to.
That's right. It's not so easy to fire a tenured professor,
Right.
but
They've
they've
your
done
heart-
it. They've
life
done it.
harder, yeah.
Life is so miserable, and they fired some of them. Some people, excuse me, in our school.
But if you feel like your invention is revolutionary and is gonna help you commercially monetize, Who cares if they fire you? You're gonna be able
No,
to
I
make
care
money.
because I don't want to be hustled by them. I've been hustled by them already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're already hustling you by
but
saying.
not because of that, because of other things that I've done in
But
the
I'm sure
past.
they're gonna. You don't see, Miami's not stupid. They're gonna
No, I
hustle you
know.
for this invention too.
I
Especially
know.
if they know if it's something awesome, they're
Right.
gonna try to claim that they own it.
So-
you don't own it.
The way that I was using it, I registered some names. And for my student, I gave exams, an exam preparation. And for the exam preparation, I give open quizzes like I did with you in the class, and
Okay.
I'm recording it,
Okay.
and I'm publishing it.
Yeah, so
And then what the student need to do, they go to YouTube or they go to Google and type a name that I gave them, and I saturate the first page with all my stuff. So when they prepare a quiz, instead of just studying the book and everything, they want to know specific questions that may be on the quiz from the test bank.
Right.
And when I did it, all these losers that don't want to study, they came and they study pages and they basically virtually learn the test bank, which we are all using.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have to come to classes or anything. They just,
Oh man.
and you know, YouTube lets you download it and play it a million times. And even if you remove it,
Yeah.
and one of the, anyways, these are examples.
Yeah.
So we have 10 sections, and all the other students from the other section wanted to find what are the key words so they can prepare what, they can know the test bank.
Right. Hey.
Let's take a quick photo really quick.
Anyway, we'll talk later.
here, I'll take it. I got it.
Hi, are you a lawyer too?
No, I'm a VC. I'm in the investment space for sports.
She's smarter than
Have you been on the
No,
panel?
I mean-
Have you been on the panel early today?
No, I'm going to be in the panel
Oh,
later.
in the next one.
Is ours the next one? We have one is
People are so excited about moving around a little bit after sitting for 2-3 hours, you know.
It does. It feels good to get up, right?
You're dealing only with patents about biology and so on? Would you
We do
deal with
everything.
things of streaming and AI and stuff like that?
Like, you know how your phone is 5G? We're working on everything 6G. Like, we work for Fortune 500.
But you
countries.
personally?
Personally, I don't work on the high-end electrical. But I've worked on streaming and other things. It depends on how complex it is. Like, in our firm, if
Mhm.
I'm not the most suited patent attorney based on my background to
Let me give you an example. Look, this is an example of a business method. What do you see here? What do you see? Can you read this?
Wiz more biz,
What do you think it is?
getting more business. Like, you're the wizard of getting more business.
That's right. You know what a software wizard is?
Yeah.
When you type next, that is called the software wizard. And you can have an AI that assists the software wizard in that way that you can talk to it. It is called voice AI and you don't have to type. So when you drive in the morning, you can be talking to it and discussing with it certain things.
It's like if this area that you're talking about.
Yeah, this is an example.
Is very crowded.
And
It's a
this
very
is
crowded space.
Not really. And this is a vanity phone number. Do you know what that is? What's a vanity phone number? Do you
Hello
understand?
everyone. We're gonna get started briefly
This
in the next
a
1 to
vanity
2
phone
minutes.
number is a phone number that
Just allow
spells
everyone to
words
get
like
settled,
this.
and we'll
You
pick back
understand?
up with the fourth panel.
So, anyways, this is the idea, the business method behind it, besides advertising my company,
It also.
is when I publish it, I reverse engineer a Google algorithm and I saturate the first page with my video.
With it, got it.
Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I see that you are. You have to prepare.
Yes, it is. I'll tell you more.
We need to have a chair.
I got it.
We can share.
Sharing is caring.
It is. Sharing and kindness and care.
We have a matching seat.
Wow.
You need a mic. I think we have a mic too.
It's better for the optics.
Yes, optics.
All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone feeling? Still here? Yes, we're celebrating World IP Day. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our fourth panel, which is Content, Sports, and Streaming, Building the Future of Global Sports Media. So we'll be talking about how content is distributed, monetized, how it's owned and protected. I'm gonna reintroduce myself. I'm Brandy Troop, radio personality of 99 Jams, Emmy Award-winning video editor with the Miami Heat, and communications professor at St. Thomas University. And we're gonna also have our panelists introduce themselves as well, and then we'll dive right in.
Hello guys, how you doing? My name is Alex. Pleasure to meet everybody. I'm a partner at Cheese Sports, I'm a media law firm, which also handles a lot of sports executions for our clients. We've been around for about 30 years. I've been part of the practice for about a decade. Happy to be here with you and happy to give you a little bit of an insight into how streaming media rights and everything else works in sports.
Hi, my name is Dora Dutour. I'm an attorney, senior associate now at Griffin Law, and we focus on international arbitration. I started my career as a corporate lawyer, so I also do a lot of transactional M&A, foreign investments, and I also like to say that I'm trilegal. I was trained in France, moved to Haiti, started my own practice, and then now I'm a New York licensed attorney. So I bring that kind of cross-border arbitration to that side.
Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa Tisdall and I am a partner at Weisberg IP Law. I am a registered patent attorney and I have a practice that focuses a lot in the hard sciences area, but we also do engineering. We do copyrights, trade secrets, trademarks, everything IP, both on the litigation side as well as on the prosecution side. Every single attorney at our firm is a registered patent attorney, everyone having a little bit different background. And much like you, I am so privileged to be able to work all over the world as we do intellectual property protection for clients in countries everywhere. And so it's very exciting.
It's exciting indeed. My name is Jan de Souvray. I am a committed community builder, 4 decades of as a creative, background in IT, professor of entrepreneurship at Penn State College.
So it's nice to be here. Yeah, I showed you yeah. I think you didn't know Anna before. I'm so sorry.
I hadn't met, like we really are.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of history that we
Shared history with
like with you and then this other situation.
The toxic IUCC.
Yeah, and all this stuff. Like we have so much knowledge in
We have 2
common.
daughters.
Yes.
Like
We should get together.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I know you're busy schedule, but
A little crazy, but they would love to. They love to go. My kids still go to
And we-
playgrounds. They're like the biggest kids on the playground. But
No, really.
they live in London too.
yeah.
Oh, you guys. Oh, we live on 134th.
Yeah, no, we're not far.
We're
There's tons of
super
parks and
close.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get.
Let's do it.
But thanks
At
for.
least we can have dinner.
Yeah, but then the kids don't play at dinner. They're just sitting there.
Yeah, and that's cool.
We need to.
No, we haven't been to dinner in a long time. We could take
I'm in barbecue luncheon yesterday.
We'll plan something.
Yeah.
Kailash has to come
Let's do
too.
it.
My husband has to come too.
Yeah.
Okay, good seeing you.
So I wanted to explain to you the point that I tried to explain to you before.
Okay.
So for example, the reason that I got into it is because I was doing, I'm teaching accounting and I'm teaching automated trading strategies. And
Okay.
I'm also trading and that's how I figured out how to top the search engine results page.
Uh-huh.
And all these students from the other section, when the instructor didn't reveal the test bank, were jamming my videos. And they were sometimes so stupid that they didn't hear the keyword correctly. So all you need to do as a student, you type the keyword on Google or YouTube or any of the search engine, and my review quizzes saturate they
first page.
They put on the first page the most recent one.
Uh-huh.
And this is for the next exam, so for the midterm and then the final. and all these students.
And so you're gonna keep on doing it every semester, probably.
I did it for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I'm there more than 45 years. And this is another example of business method. You see this? Can you read what it is?
Wiz more biz.
Yeah, what do you think that is?
Well, obviously something about more business. But
Right, and Wiz, do you know what a Wiz is?
like wizard.
Yeah, and what is a software wizard, do you know?
Software wizard.
Yeah, when you type next,
Uh-huh.
this is called the software wizard.
Okay. Wizard more biz. Wiz more biz.
So when you click next, sometimes you don't understand what you are clicking. You can have an AI Wiz that will not only let you do that traditional software wizard, but will also talk to you. This is called voice AI, and you can talk to it back, and it can explain to you how to fill out those forms.
Forms and stuff, yeah.
So, you know what is a vanity phone number?
Yeah, like 1-800-WIZ.
That's
more
right.
biz.
That's right. The only difference that 800 is expensive because you have to pay. When you use a local number like Wiz, the area code is 949. It's a local number, you understand?
949 is my Florida number?
No.
Yeah.
But
I'll message your wife, okay? We'll see.
anyways, this is another example.
Example, right? Okay.
Of what I'm teaching is about branding and how to top the search engine results.
100%, man.
And the most important thing is people, when you are very popular like that, they copy your video and publish it on their name.
Yeah.
So I developed a way that when you click on the hyperlink, it takes the surfer to my website.
Ah, okay.
So they advertise for me, and I don't have to worry about them misappropriating my videos.
Right.
This is only one example of a business method that nobody is
come up with,
using.
yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
And this is one example. I have more than 50 patents that I want to register.
I'm gonna reach out to your wife. And
Yeah, reach out to my wife.
Awesome.
And I'd like to. You also appear well in the. You were the best speaker among them. I thought
you, I
so. I
appreciate
wanted. If I never talk to you again, I want you to know
Well, I
that
appreciate
your
that.
analysis and your comments were the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay. Bye. Nice talking.
Like the NFL, the NHL, those entities typically have the essential rights in those sports, right? But to the extent that you start streaming, right, and there are different people taking, images and filming the sports, the streaming services or their related entities own those broadcasts specifically, but what we're seeing with that, and as things develop from an intellectual property perspective, is that a lot of the licensing deals will actually have the rights of the streaming platforms revert back to, for example, the NHL, the NFL, after a period of time.
Which makes adding the correct arbitration clause into the contract the most relevant thing you can do. All these business people keep on negotiating all the terms and then the prices to be paid for each of these rights. But then if you don't have the correct clause, then you do have a right, but you have nowhere to enforce it. And then you don't even know where. So
Yeah, let people go to arbitration, and outside of Warner Brothers or NBA, we don't have a single, actual dispute. Give us some content. Go to the court. Give us a little bit of a precedent going.
Well, this is why arbitration works. Just having the arbitration. So basically, for all newbies or people that don't know exactly what arbitration is you take your matter into a private courthouse. Why do I say it's a private courthouse? It's because you decide the substantive law that you want to apply to the contract. You decide also where you want to seek the arbitration. That means which forum is going to decide on the procedures, and then if you can have access to, let's say, emergency arbitrator. If you have some carve-outs in your contract, let's say you're seated in Miami, but you carve it out, maybe the Florida courts can help you, and you can have
temporary relief injunction. And that matters because, let's say your FIFA rights to broadcast these soccer teams, you don't have 5 weeks. You just have these 2 hours. So you need to be able to act fast, and then arbitration gives you that. But usually what they use is boilerplate, so they don't get that.
And with content moving so quickly online, how big of an issue is unauthorized use of piracy, and what can actually be done about it?
I can speak to that. Many years ago, so I know, I'm from a family of artists, and my godfather died of HIV/AIDS when I was 11 years old. 30 years later, it was 1989. In 2009, my uncle in France found a VHS tape of his last performance. Took that VHS tape, put it in a DVD with my tech background, and I was able to make an album of it and I did some pretty cool stuff with it. Posted it on YouTube. But before I did post it on YouTube, I did get to copyright.gov, made sure that it was protected. And somebody reposted the video, and I had to do a cease and desist type of thing. And so you have to, and I shout out to Rebecca, I speak to her frequently about just owning your content, and if you're a content creator, copyright is the first thing you need to do. Even, doesn't matter how fast the content moves, you have to move faster. You have to be proactive, like you said before, because there will be people out there, no matter how big or small, that will take your content and try and repurpose it. So you have to be very careful and move faster than the content is moving itself.
Dora, did you want to add something?
I just wanted to say that basically now what we're seeing these days is the most sophisticated players. What they're doing now is that they treat legal infrastructure as a legal strategy, and then they're not being like, oh God, it's gonna cost too much. Let's do all of that, organize an international team, understand their markets, to try to move as fast as the stream.
In today's streaming environment, what makes sports content actually hold value?
Can I revert back to
Yes,
this
absolutely, and
question
then
just briefly?
For sure.
I just wanted to add something from a patent perspective related to piracy and issues. And one thing that we're seeing in the patent world is there's a race to protect the patents that can, prevent the piracy issues. And so think about, what's one of the most successful streaming platforms? Netflix, right? Everyone here knows Netflix and has seen Netflix. And it isn't Netflix like one of the most user-friendly experiences as opposed to the other platforms? Guess what? That's because of patents. And it's because of various patents that they have. And it also goes to piracy type issues and other issues. But I just wanted to bring that up because this is an emerging area that we're seeing as well in streaming.
Okay, thank you for that. And back to my question, so what is it about the sports content that makes it hold value within the whole streaming realm?
I can give a little bit of perspective on that. We actually have a question, if anything, we want to wait.
We'll be taking questions at the end.
But as far as the live content with sports and its value, I think the main offering point here for sports is its live nature, right? People want to tune into sports when they're happening. People want to know who's going to win. You don't have that predictability. You can't watch it with delay, but it's a little bit less interesting because by then Twitter has already told you, right? So that's where the value of live advertising comes in. That's where the value of those ads that are associated with Super Bowl come in, right? In the same way, that's where the value of the ads on the side screen for a piracy website, that's where that comes in as well, because people also go there when they can't access, the 10 different subscriptions that they now need in order to get connected to every single one of the NFL games, for instance. So the more, coming back to the more segmentation, I guess in this instance, unnecessary segmentation, or maybe necessary for the kind of bottom line, but less so for the user experience, the leagues take on, the more likely people are to go and find that, single place where they can find anything. And that's, me being Russian, I got links for you.
And as recent as yesterday, we're even seeing deals where Amazon has partnered with Duke University to exclusively stream games. Now, this was just yesterday. What does that say about where sports is headed? Because this is actually Amazon's first time partnering in college sports. We've seen professional, but now it's college. So what does that say about where streaming is heading?
I can't really speak to that, but what I could say, yesterday I had, where in terms of streaming is heading, you have to start early, right? You have to, I'll speak about the content space. I had a young man that did his final pitch yesterday about how he was an athlete that didn't get a chance to create his own reel, right? And so he was able to start his own business to create reels for younger athletes. So the streaming is starting younger and younger and younger, and Amazon already sees that. There's an issue with this because the younger they are, the more lawyers they need, because now who owns the right, the name, image, and likeness? It's a very scary space when Amazon keeps going younger and younger. So that's my take on it. But we have to, it's an interesting space. That's all I can say about that.
As far as their motivation, the streaming services, why they want to go into live sports, it's about user attrition. What are the platforms fighting for? They want to have the users maintain their memberships, maintain their subscriptions as much as possible. They don't want people dropping. That's the numbers at the end of the year that they're bringing to the shareholders to say that they're successful or not as a management team. Oh, we were able to get more subscribers or retain more subscribers. And live sports does that for you. If you know as a live sports fan, that you're gonna get your favorite team in the playoffs or whatever it is, here available in this streaming service, you're gonna tune in and then you're not gonna cancel most likely. That's the reason why Netflix had the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight on it, right? That was one of its first, sponsorship kind of activities as far as live sports events goes. And the reason for it was because people tuned in and then signed up and then didn't cancel the subscription. And that still goes on. So.
I love that you said that. What would you say is one mistake that organizations make when it comes to owning or structuring their content rights?
I would say treating their contracts, focusing on everything else, but the dispute resolution. I think they have to assume that the content is not gonna. It's all gonna be international, and it's all gonna be global and not territorially bound. And then so they need to think that the protection and the protecting mechanisms need to be weaved in with protected clause in the contracts.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think that they have to be very proactive with their protection. Like you were just saying, before releasing it, you got that copyright registration, or before releasing your potentially patentable idea, getting that patent application filed. Something that's really interesting in the patent world that we're seeing with streaming, who's ever heard of the first sale doctrine? Have you ever heard that? So like if you buy a DVD, right? You can go, if you buy a DVD, can't you go and just give the DVD to your friend? Yes. Right? You're free to do that, right? But that doesn't exist on a streaming platform because you don't have that bundle of rights that you purchased like that. But what if you decide to take those, if you decide to record on your whatever, some of those streaming things, whose rights are those?
But I think that touches like an even more interesting question, which is how do we define property? Like the fact that this is the 21st century, so now property rights used to be linked to something like I own this home. Now they're shifting and it's more user access. This is why you get a membership on an app, you get like different.
They're limiting that membership now as well.
Exactly.
Shared accounts.
Shared accounts. And then, so basically it becomes like a world where you don't need to own. You lease everything. You use everything. So that's a very interesting, that's a little bit over the panel, but.
But if you want to be able to then lease things to people, you need to own them in order to be able to lease them. So your whole business model of licensing things to people, right, is dependent on your property side of ownership.
Because that's what's happening. Because I saw it the other day, there's a class action lawsuit against Amazon and Apple because anybody how many of us download things that you buy digital movies online? You technically don't own it. You're leasing it. And so it's that user access that we're paying for, and they could snatch that back. So now more of my kids now want to buy the DVDs if they're still available. My son saw a VHS tape at my mother-in-law's and say, "Look at the media, Dad. Look at how the media was before." I'm like, yeah, you kind of own that. It's yours, to be able to have access to. And things are changing.
It's a shift it's definitely a shift in the law, but I think it's a different kind of property right.
And I think it's always interesting because we always say the wheels of justice spin so slowly, and it does. It takes the law, and I'm sure you've seen that from an international perspective, quite some time to catch up to the realities of the technology.
And what's becoming more important today that maybe wasn't as important 5 or 10 years ago within this digital and streaming space?
Entrepreneurship. That's entrepreneurship. The ability to understand how what you create you can own, right? Understanding how the law works to protect that. And so people are now thinking of themselves, going back to the very, very first panel, Rebecca says in that line from Jay-Z, even Jay-Z is re-releasing his music after 30 years. Because now he owns his music. He owns what he created. So I'm sort of being biased, but before I was a professor of entrepreneurship, I always understood that you have to own what you create. And so those going back to the word, the segmentation, the little niche spaces makes you rich, right? And so those entrepreneurial principles understand how to navigate through the ever-changing space. No matter what the technology is, you know what you own, you know what you can do with what you own, and you keep growing and building from there.
Yeah, I would echo ownership, exactly on what you said.
And bringing it back to the sports space, where do you see the biggest opportunities within sports media over the next few years?
I would say that as an enjoyer of sports media, as far as digital versions are also, I think there's been a significant slant towards creator-led media as opposed to legacy-led media, where before you used to have ESPN and TNT to come in and get your basketball takes or NFL takes or whatever else. Now you can go to 50 different creators on YouTube that have a different angle, have an ability to deliver things. And some of those creators do actually end up executing deals with larger enterprises such as Bleacher Report, by default the parent company Warner. That was just part of a dispute actually between Warner and NBA when Warner wasn't able to match Amazon's offer to NBA for the streaming because Warner doesn't do streaming. So instead, they sued and tried to say that the matching right was properly exercised, whatever the case, but they settled, and at the end, one of the most important elements there was the rights to continue using highlights, the rights for Warner Bros. To continue monetizing that social media presence and have its creator-led broadcasting, I guess creator-led media production continue being part of the general, in that instance, basketball discourse. So I'd say very much, much more creator-led from the bottom up type of content, in this case.
Thank you for that, Alex. And we are wrapping up, but before we open it to the audience for questions, is there any lasting comments that you guys would like to speak to within the world of streaming, whether ownership, distribution, monetization, anything?
Well, I was thinking of something that we didn't brush up today, probably how sports media is now integrating or has been integrating Web3 and how people have their own avatars, and then that's another level of IP rights that linked to that. I don't know if anybody heard of the Hermes NFT debacle, but I guess that's another.
Enlighten us about it.
So basically, there's Web3 is kind of a sandbox or all these new spaces where you can exist. It's you create an avatar and then you go play in that virtual world. And in this virtual world, you can own a Hermes bag. So somebody drafted an NFT as Hermes. So they had to do the Supreme Court gave Hermes finally they gave them the win, because what they said is you guys are monetizing something that we invented. So that was one of the first breakthroughs. So now you have more and more athletes. I think the app is called Solare, maybe you can look it up. But basically it works for soccer teams. So you have contracts between Mbappe and that platform where he's renting his avatar to some kids that want to pretend that they're playing in the soccer league. So I just find all these things very interesting. I hope you guys share that.
And Brian, one of the things too, I often tell our students at NBC that people don't just buy products, they don't just buy services, they engage in an experience. And so what is live sports? Live sports is an engaged experience. And every person has a different angle, a different type of experience. When we go to Disney, what do we buy? We overbuy a bunch of things, right?
my daughter's on grad venture at Disney right now, so I know that it's her.
Same thing, but it's that experience, and so we have to. Now, how do you copyright? For the lawyers, the intellectual property folks out there, how do you own that experience? I don't know, but that's still something to think about. But that's going to change everything. And those who know sports know that experience will continue. And that live experience in the world of AI and robotics is going to be very, very valuable this time.
Yes. Alyssa, any lasting comments? Alex? No? Well, we're going to go ahead and open it up to the floor for questions. Yes.
My question, sometimes it takes a lot of time trying to register a trademark, or I don't know if the government is going to make something, because when you are talking about 8 months to 24 months, sometimes valuable content is not able to, it's the way to protect so many times. This was valuable protection. And the other thing for me is, now, for example, with the glasses, no, that you can video film everything and go, and who knows that there is a light that is informing you that something is recording you, or I don't know. I think that a lawyer will have a lot of challenges, and if we can put images, videos, audio in the prompt, with the artificial intelligence, how you can protect your customers, or I don't know who is in charge of trying to review that kind of things. But I'm in the technology side, and for me it's sometimes very complex trying to understand how I'm not going to make a fault with all of this with my customers, you know.
What's the question?
Well, the question for you as a lawyer, in terms of protecting content, which is the
because you were talking about different things. So you said recording. So now what we're seeing more and more, it's like you're invaded by disclaimers. If you don't want to be recorded, say yes. If you don't want to be don't go here. You might be. So there's that public use of space also. That if you enter here, then you consent to having your pictures taken. And if not, then there's ways where you can put people on notice. So I feel like it's becoming a space where you're bombarded with disclaimers and things like that, and then that's just the space we live in.
And with the copyright stuff, start early, because when the government shut down, because I'm in the creative space, so I'm an author. I've been writing since I was for 41 years now. And the most recent project I did, I sent the application in back in October. I just got that information last month. I called the office. I was like, where is my work? They're like, oh, this account, you know the government was shut down. I said, oh yes, you're right. So, but they said that's fine. The minute that I had put in the work, there's this documentation saying I had put in the application. So start as early as possible, especially if you have something that's a core differentiator from everything else. Start as early. Do not wait on the government. Just start working now and have that. It's documented somewhere, so just start.
And from a patent perspective, same. Early. Because if you make any sort of public disclosure, while the United States gives you a 1-year period from your date of first disclosure to file an application, many other countries do not give you that grace period, and you have waived the capability to file a patent application in any of those countries. So if you think that you have something that may be subject to patent protection, design patent, or a utility patent, plant patent, reach out to a patent attorney immediately so that you don't inadvertently waive any rights. You know, when I speak with inventors as far as patents, I always tell them, like, mum's the word until you have something filed. And then, just like you were saying, once you have something filed, you have some semblance of protection, and I won't go into the details of that, but.
Thank you for that. Any other questions? Yes.
So I want to respond, first of all, to your question and continue the professor question. He said that he has videos that people misappropriate, right? And you were asking, what can you do about it? And the problem that you recommend, copyright and all of it, is the timing problem. I had the problem now. I tried to register a patent and a copyright, takes a year, I have to pay the attorneys, and in the meantime, all my property goes out the door. What Elisa said, what they were doing, I reversed engineered the Google algorithm, so all my videos top the SERP, search engine results page, on page 1. So every idiot that sees it, he says, wow, that must be popular, I'm going to misappropriate it. And they did what you said, they burn it to a DVD. I'm teaching you about AI and some other things which are relevant, and they sell the DVDs, and then they publish it on their name. So the answer that I did is I did a strip of my URL. You see that on the hat, with more biz, if you cannot read from this distance. And so what they did, I had on the bottom of the videos all my information, so my phone number and my domain name and the website. So what they did, when they downloaded it to the DVD, they edited the DVD and put their name on top of it and sold it with their name. And then I saw my video on YouTube with their name on top of mine. So what the result was, what I said, I have to move it. So they will have to take the video frame by frame and take it out on every frame. So what I did the handcuff that you can see with the same logos. And so in my head, and when I'm teaching, I'm moving all the time. So if you try to take it, you have to really work so hard.
You're just a walking brain.
And
I think you need a
and the most, just a minute. And the most important thing is and they did it anyways, because they wanted to be searched on the high ranking to be on page 1. But then I made a hyperlink, so when you see the video and you click on it, it takes the user to my website, and it asks the user if he wants to talk to me, then it dials the phone number. So that way the thieves or those that misappropriate advertise me, and until I get the copyright and the patent, which I may be dead by then, immediately I deal with it in a functionally efficient way, without having to pay attorneys everything. And now comes the legal issue, which is another whole bunch of issues.
I think you can, like, by yourself, use all the streaming platforms, and then you can file a complaint, like, as a single user without even having an attorney.
Yeah, but it's a huge hassle.
Well, it's not, and it works, actually, because they have, like, in Europe, they have 48 hours to reply to you. If they don't, they're screwed. So it works very well.
And I like them to advertise me. This is much more effective.
Thank you for that, Dylan. Thank you. Can we give a round of applause to our panelists? Dropping so many gems. We are going to get ready for our last panel. Thank you all so much. Last but certainly not least.
You gave me a good pointer there. With the DVDs, they would take it and they will burn the DVDs, and they will overwrite their logo on mine.
Alyssa, they wanted a picture with you for the panel.
Oh, okay. I think I got someone else's picture.
There'll be 4 of us. And I'm on, no, 4 and 3. No, 4. Sorry.
Sorry.
you have an image trademark?
Can you get your image? No.
She's not an athlete. Who cares to use her? Who cares to use her image?
Well, you never know, you know.
In the future.
If all of a sudden,
We need to be protected.
if all of a
It
sudden she,
doesn't bar her from monetizing.
But it
If
takes-
somebody happens to use
but it takes
I-
resources. All of a sudden she becomes a beauty queen and everybody wants her image. She will be protected. Do you have a business card by any chance?
Do I have? No.
No.
I have a LinkedIn
Okay.
card.
Oh, you have a LinkedIn card? Well, that
Yes.
works because I have a meeting now. I'm going to take because I'm walking.
Oh, you're fine. I
So, yeah, probably say because we now have like a set number of interns for summer, but come I think autumn we might able to have some spots. So.
Yeah, for this summer I have internship with state attorney office, but for fall semester I would love to.
Yeah, we can chat about fall. I don't think we have anything yet.
Okay.
Hi.
How you doing?
I wanted to talk to you.
I think we've met.
We
met. Yes.
we met, and also Thomas came.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last one. It's the last one.
You have a business card by any chance? We met many times.
Yeah, and Thomas was on our panel. You couldn't make it.
Yes, the last one.
You remember also how we met?
Yeah, right here as well. I think.
No.
We're
Downtown
Yes.
Miami. You remember that you used to have a booth
Oh, yeah.
in that area there?
Yeah.
And you were with this building that was doing startups and stuff like that?
Yeah, the CIS building. Yeah, the office hours we did.
Whatever building it was, and there were lectures there, and the whole building was University of Miami related building. And
Yeah.
that was just when you came,
Some years ago, yes.
or 10 years ago. Almost. I would like to talk to you. We are doing something with the University of Miami. You're not a patent attorney.
No, that would be Lucent,
Right.
which is the copyrights and trademark.
Right, so...
Hey, feel free to reach out, email,
yeah.
anything. Phone.
You're in Miami still?
Downtown. Right around
Okay.
the corner.
So you were close to this building, I remember. Bye.
It's all decentralized. Everything will become decentralized, and that gives us as consumers the power to own our
Thank you. You gotta talk to me. How do you talk to me? Some nerdy things. It's like my life.
You are going non-stop with the picture.
She's good at it.
I know.
To get some pictures. And guess who owns
She does.
Right.
But it's taken from my phone, so that's better.
But
Oh,
she's
yeah.
probably not gonna fight you.
No, you look forward to that.
So we are on our last panel of the day, and we already started the panel in a private discussion talking about who owns the copyright to the pictures taken. Because they were taken on one person's phone, but they were taken by another person who was apparently a great photographer. So these are the types of discussions we'll have on our last panel. Hello everyone, my name is Lakshmi Natarajan. I'm your moderator today, not Alyssa. And I'm the moderator because I have three wonderful people sitting next to me. We will have Jean-Marie talking about AI and data in the world of sports. Then we'll have Anu, who's an engineer turned investor in the sports arena. And then, as you know, we will have Alyssa as well, speaking on all things IP and patents. So we have three experts really focused today. We're going to talk about AI and sports IP, investment, risks, data,
and what's copyrighted and protected. So a lot of different topics. I'm going to ask each of my panelists to introduce themselves briefly, and then we'll get to the questions. So I'll turn it over to Jean-Marie.
Jean-Marie Altima, that's French name. Thank you for coming. I'm a tech expert. I used to be the regulator of the telecom, the head of the telecom regulator in Haiti. So we launched what we call the AI Music Tech Conference because we want to bring together people from different ecosystems to talk about AI and how AI is transforming the industry. So I also lead a consulting firm in digital governance, and we bring this together, and thank you so much for asking this question.
Thank you. Anu?
Hello everyone, I'm Anu. My 15 years of career spans across working as a software engineer, also started working as a data scientist in some of the most of the clients that were in the healthcare aspect, designing systems in AI and data architecture, and then doing my master's in entrepreneurship and data science, which what led me to evaluating technology and IP with the technology what we had at the university. So that's how I got into the investment side of things. And then started working with portfolio companies from CVC Capital, evaluating deals in B2B, SaaS, and sports technology. So that's what got me into sports, and also working with Southern Capital, building the financial models and deal sourcing, and then in part of the investment committee. One of the deals which we work for, the portfolio companies we work for was like Robinhood and Carta. So yeah, it's been a great journey so far, and yeah, I'm new to Miami. I just got here like 4 months ago, so I mean the community here has been so welcoming. So yeah, thank you so much.
And hello again, Alyssa Tisdall. Just to give you a little bit more and a different angle from my background, so I head the firm's litigation, so I do patent litigation, trademark litigation, copyright, all IP litigation, and when you hear people say prosecution, when you're talking about prosecution of a trademark, prosecution of a patent, or prosecution of a copyright, that is also something that I actively practice day in and day out. And the prosecution is before the United States Patent and Trademark Office or the Copyright Office.
Thank you, everyone. And I realize I didn't introduce myself. So again, Lakshmi Natarajan. I spent majority of my career working across global teams at Fortune 500 companies. And in the recent years, I pivoted to two lenses. So I work a lot with tech founders on helping them bring their brilliance and taking it to make it become a scalable business. And I also work with investors to identify those opportunities and everyone winning together. So I'll turn it over to Alyssa first. So we're going to talk more about the legal side. So thinking about the ownership of AI generated content, my goodness, there's a lot of it out there. I don't even know what's real or fake anymore. So as AI enables real live highlights, closed commentary, and hyper-personalized fan content, who owns that output? And how are deals being structured amid this ongoing legal uncertainty?
Sure, that's a great question, and it kind of ties back to a little bit of what we talked about before, right? So who owns those core rights? We talked about the leagues. The leagues are the ones that are maintaining the rights, the core rights in the sport. So again, the NHL, the NFL, FIFA, whatever. And then what's happening is there are certain agreements that they are making with some of the streaming platforms so that they can record the game. And like we said, they get the rights to the camera angle and how they filmed the particular sport. And then like we said, in a lot of these agreements that the streaming platforms have, the rights to the sports content is actually reverting back after a period of time to the NFL, the NHL, because they want to maintain that core control, and that's how they're able to, because they are incredibly powerful, right, as far as intellectual property. Something else, to the extent that there's like highlights, commentary, hyper-personalized experiences, to the extent that there is human input that is somewhat transformative into that. There is the capability, for example, for the streaming service, if it's an employee of the streaming service that created, the way that the content is being displayed or distributed, that the streaming service can own it. But if it is purely AI generated, guess what? Can't own it. Because you need some sort of human creativity. So we are seeing much more complex legal licensing agreements that deal with these issues, and I think it will be really interesting to see how they kind of pan out over time when there are disputes that go into the court systems.
Very interesting. Thank you so much for that. I'll turn it over to Jean-Marie related to AI and data privacy. So, as we all know, AI is just redefining fundamentally all things around us, specifically also on what constitutes as IP in sports. And where's the new value being created versus displaced? Our brain is always thinking about displacement, but there's also new value gains. So where's that happening?
I think there is no game without athletes. So first of all, they are part of the ecosystem. They are the center of the ecosystem. We have seen different kind of content that AI is creating, whatever you use data to train your model. But I think there is a great value in the audience, because AI or the emerging technologies bring this connection, like to the fans, to people who have never seen a player or an athlete because of technology, because of AI. So you talk about data, I think this is very important because data is at the center of this, like we talk about, talking about AI is bringing data, is bringing good data, whatever, or also the algorithm. But we sometimes forget the infrastructure that we need. So that means even for the athletes, he needs to have access to some infrastructure to know exactly what he owns. Because if he doesn't know, someone else could use whatever he has as a right. So it's important to bring this, the infrastructure side, that people can have access to infrastructure to build value on what they are doing. So I think, as I said, audience, the way you connect, the way the athletes can connect to people, it's an important value.
Yeah, I think we heard that earlier, right? The experience, the connection. That is the forever game changer in this. Now turning it over to revenue, risk, and investment, and Anu, from your perspective, on the investor side. So where's the real value in AI-driven sports assets today? Is it on proprietary models, exclusive access to real-time rights, and how is that evolving?
Okay, so the value lies in, there are different layers to that when it comes to real-time data or fan data, proprietary data, and predictive models. They are different revenue streams, and they are stacked upon each other, and the way they operate, they're just related to each other. So let's say when it comes to real-time data, so there's this company which creates a data pipeline. They basically license that data from leagues and then create these data pipelines and license this to like apps and media platforms and social platforms. So they basically operate on a licensing model with these companies. And then you have fan data. TGL recently made an investment in this company called Learfield, which is basically it stitches all the data together. Like we have different sources of data coming from merchandise data. Let's say if you're an NWSL fan, you download the app, and then you are also interacting with the merchandise, and you're on social media, tweeting or creating a reel on that. So these are like different data points, but then like how do you unify this together? So the idea is to build an app which TGL invested in earlier this year, was to bring these data points together. So any application which basically unifies the data would have like a strong moat. And then there is another layer to it which nobody's actually looking into is biometric data. But again, there are a lot of complexities with IPs involved in that, and that's exactly what I'm dealing right now. So I invest in women's sports and women's health physiology. The challenges, right? So you need to see like what are the constant layers to it when it comes to how we're going to use the data. So all that risks are involved. But then it's a great. If startups are actually building something on the biometric data and they're mindful about the consent layers which goes to that, it's a great opportunity.
And that's something else, to build upon what you were just saying, as far as wearable devices or implantable devices and the data and the ownership, and this can relate to athletes or it can relate to, as we're sitting here, anything, that's become a very hot area related to patents and who owns that data. Because, there are so many medical breakthroughs potentially that you can have if you can analyze that data. Like right now, there are certain precursors to when someone starts to have certain medical events that they've started seeing trending with this data, and how wonderful would it be if we could use that to save more people?
Great point. So we delved in from sports data to medical data, but to that point, there's a lot of goodness coming out of it. So turning back to you, Alyssa, related to the legal uncertainty and protection of value. Everyone wants to protect their brain and what their brain can produce through technology and through all the innovation out there. But a lot of questions there around, I'll use a noun and make it a verb, copyrightability. With all of this AI-generated content and copyrightability, what legal or structural mechanisms, copyright, trade secrets, licensing, are you seeing that are proving most effective in protecting the value?
Sure. So with that, we're seeing clients blend and use a number of different strategies to protect their intellectual property. I just want to go back because this came out before, this was a dispute that came out before AI was in the mainstream, and it kind of has served as a guiding principle as far as the copyrightability of certain content. Does anyone ever remember seeing the picture of the monkey who took a picture of itself? Well, there was a huge fight. PETA got involved and others, indicating, there were arguments that the monkey should be able to own the copyright, and there were arguments that the owner of the camera should own the copyright. Like, there's a lot of legal arguments, and ultimately the courts came down that the monkey is not human, right? And so the monkey cannot own the copyright. And that's a lot of what we're seeing as we're leading into AI with how they're viewing copyrightability, because you want some sort of human input. So are we seeing copyright still being filed? Yes, but there's caveats. So first, one area of protection that's becoming a little more robust is trade secrets. And that's because how long does a trade secret last? Possibly forever, right? I mean, think Coca-Cola. No one has figured out how to reverse engineer that, right? And so that's an if they had patented, we already know it, and there'd be 50 other companies creating the soft drink, right? So they use trade secrets if they can protect it that way. And like with software and coding, you can actually file a copyright application as long as there's human input, right, in what is being created. There are ways that you can file it and still have a designated trade secret. So you see trade secret protection, and also you see a lot of licensing and contracts. So we've seen, especially from a lot of our larger corporate clients, concern about this. And so what they've started to do, they've actually started to change up their employment contracts, so that if you're employed by, company X, you have various restrictions on how you can access AI, and also to the extent that they allow you to access AI, you have to clearly document what human input you've put into the AI initially generated content. So that's something that they're doing. We're seeing more and more NDAs coming into play. And then we've seen a lot of restrictions, especially in the patent world, because what happens, when you go on to the OpenAI, ChatGPT, or whatever platform you want to, you're essentially sharing it with the cloud and the rest of the world. So many companies, some of our biggest innovators in the entire world, had said to all the employees, the engineers, all of the creatives, absolutely no use of AI at all. We're starting to see them moved into a closed AI model, and many of our clients are now doing that, but it's been an incredible transformation as we've seen this over time.
To your point, NDAs are flying left and right. I've signed so many I can't keep track. That's why I have a lawyer to help me keep track of it. But it is true, everyone wants their vision, their innovation protected. And to what do you share the early phase before the NDA and then what comes post? But you are seeing a lot more of that. And it again is to protect everybody involved. So I'll turn it over to you, Jean-Marie. A fun question about just digital likeness. How do we think about valuing an athlete's digital likeness in an AI-driven world?
I think licensing. Let's take a cake, right? Let's take a cake. You have the ingredients. You have the model. That's the recipe that you have to know exactly what to do to get the cake. And if someone is using my data, my ingredient that I create or whatever type of data it is, so as an athlete, I should see where my rights are. I think that's in the data that the platforms are collecting to build the cake. That means whatever intelligence solutions that they are building, they use my data. So I think the question is how to license this, because let's say, okay, we have $1 in the ecosystem. If with licensing, the athlete can get a part of it because his data is being used to train models. I think licensing should be the key for that.
Very interesting. I know you, sir, you have a question. We have like one more panel question and then we'll open it up. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so Anu, the last one's for you, and I'm just checking time, which is why I'd like to leave it open. So we'll do a fun question too to see where your brain is on investment. So you had to deploy $50 million into AI and sports and IP today. Where would it go? And where would you not invest?
Okay. So if so there are like various angles where I can come into this. So I mean yes. So AI has definitely made things a lot more interesting when it comes to investments in sports. Investment in sports are generally I mean, there's usually been like a high risk and high return when it comes to investing in sports, but then now because of AI coming into the picture and different IPs, like it's just a lot more easier to monetize on that based on segmentations. So I would invest in with AI companies who are actually trying to unify the platforms with different data sources when it comes to getting our fan data, because I mean because the data, like if they're segregated, doesn't make any sense. So investing in those tech companies who are working on the data infrastructure would be a good place to start with. And then also when it comes to evaluating deals for franchisee ownership, my playbook would be if those franchisees are or at the league level, if those leagues are very early on when it comes to broadcast renegotiations, because then we have ample time for the next cycle where they tend to either withdraw or renegotiate that broadcast rights. And then I would also look at if the franchise has limited expansion. And at the same time, I would also look at if there are any media deals in the pipeline for that particular franchise which are coming up, or they have any sort of, let's say, the Kansas City team with the soccer league, they just got a stadium in their name, and they exclusively open a stadium for women, which is very commendable. And they just signed like a 10 million deal contract for the next 10 years for the naming rights for the stadium. So these are all positive signs for investment in that particular franchisee, because it all goes back to the popularity then. And the last thing is what I would look at is of course like the biometric performance, the proprietary data which comes with that, because most of like nearly only about 4% of data in sports science has been like research. There's so much more research which is a black hole out there, and same goes with like men's physiology too. And what I would not invest right now is I would look at who owns the data when it comes to like, let's say if any sports company has a partnership with a franchise, like I would look at the agreements to know if they are already on the contractual agreements with the franchise, or if there's any company talking about data mode, are they getting just data from like different publicly available API sources versus having data from like proprietary sources. And yeah, I mean, of course, like I'll be more cautious about AI generated content, because the ownership, again, it's a very murky space out there, like she pointed out. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. So I wanted to turn it over to the audience for questions. Yes, please.
Okay, just what the expert said and what Elizabeth said. The problem is what you say is very rarely useful, that you said that if it is AI, you cannot have a patent and you cannot have anything because it's AI, and AI is not a human. But in reality, it never happens. For example, I teach for the University of Miami and I record my lectures. But in order to get rid of my accent and to improve my teaching, I ask AI every time I teach something. I ask, say, ChatGPT rather than AI. Everybody heard about ChatGPT. Most people don't know what AI is. To repeat what I said. And then I listened to ChatGPT, and I discovered that invariably every time, after ChatGPT reviews what I said and says it a lot better, it also, besides the hallucination, it also explains to me and teaches me how to teach better, and then I have to comment about something that I didn't say. So the output eventually is the AI output, and also I'm using textbook that is by the publisher and the test bank by the publisher, and I show the slides of the publisher, and the result is a mixture of a video of the AI, my original stuff before the AI, and then after the AI, plus the rights of the publisher of the textbook and the test bank and the quizzes that I'm using in my class, which I broadcast. So, and my contract from 45 years ago at the University of Miami didn't even had anything to do with it, and it's totally irrelevant when it comes to AI. So it's a whole, like you just said, it is all such a mixture that I don't want to have to deal with attorneys and from the publisher and the university and others, and my own intellectual property. It's a nightmare that by the time it is resolved, I'll be dead.
Yeah, the sports ecosystem is just maturing right now because it's only now that it's their investors and stakeholders are realizing the value when it comes to generating revenue streams from different with AI in space, and so it's very fragmented, and there has to be like IP layers on these different fragments. It's not there yet, but it's maturing at a faster pace than and second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is what is happening in what we call the hidden layer of the. You have the first layer, as you know, data. That's all what you change, what you give to the model. But where you have in the hidden layer, you don't know what is happening. How they use those data to generate what you heard, because it's hidden. This is what you have the algorithm. So I think, is it possible to go there to know what's going on? Like IP, whatever.
Even now, who owns it? You are talking right now. They have cameras here. Who knows what cameras? There are people's camera, and they record whatever they want. And then, who is it? Miami-Dade? Or is it Jean? Or is it all the people here? Or is it the panelists?
I will ask
who owns it?
Well, I would say this and it all depends. So the ownership I won't answer, but I will answer this. There's a lot of things that we don't know yet, and we're defining as we go. This has happened before, everyone. We forget, though. We forget what's happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because the rapid pace of evolution that we're in now, it is a little scary because it's just happening faster than we can keep up. But I tell anyone innovating in this space, you could spend years getting all the answers. You've kind of missed the market. You've missed the market. Innovation's not waiting for you. Sorry, right? So I will say there are things you have to foundationally do, absolutely. But there are things that are constantly evolving as you go. So a contract or something that happened a year ago has changed now. So at least from an investor standpoint to founders, the longer they wait to go out to market and to seeing what the market appetite is, seeing if they can gain customers, you may miss the boat on opportunities because somebody else is doing the same thing. So it's a different lens. I'm not answering all your questions. I'm just saying the agility to evolve as you go is important, and that's what makes a company investable. Can you move with the market and evolve, and building a platform that evolves as things are progressing.
And to go back to what everyone has said, think of the case, the AI in New York Times cases, right? Those that are pending in the Southern District of New York. Those are some of the biggest AI cases. I think there's like 51 or 52 big AI cases that are pending around the country. Guess what's happening to most of those cases? they're settling, and they're gonna have some sort of licensing agreement, and the ownership of the underlying AI that you were just saying isn't being determined. And so, to what Lakshmi was saying, I think that you have to have that dynamic agility so that depending on what happens, because we don't know, you can, pivot. And right now, they're in the discovery phase of the AI platform, and so it's very interesting to see how the algorithms are working, and if it's transformative, or is it just, taking the data and just spitting out responses.
And most of us don't even understand those algorithms.
Well, they're not transparent.
We all are learning together. We are all on this journey together. So what you just said, yeah, I don't understand sometimes either. You have to, again, be wanting to learn. So please don't feel, no one here is behind. We're all trying to play. It's moving faster than us humans can sometimes process. As long as we're willing to learn, that's all that we can do. But we can't get stuck in our old ways.
Yeah, and also like on the brighter side, if you look at this, like if it's all structured well, hopefully in the future, like everybody gets a piece of the pie, right? Like whether it's the league, or it's the AI company who's generating the content, or if it's the broadcaster who are saving cost on generating this AI content, or if it's the athlete who's with their NIL generating revenue from that. So like everybody might get a piece of a pie from that, right? So it's on the brighter side.
The pie is being split a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
If you take the music industry, the artists represent only 15%. So that's also the question.
I say, would you rather have a piece of a pie or no pie? Right? No, because a lot of people don't want to split the pie. There's so many people involved in everything, especially when it comes to a deal. There's so many players. And if you're worried about a few percentages here and there, then it may not go through. So it's a much more, I say collaborate and win together.
Negotiation.
It's much better to win together than not win at all.
Yeah, hopefully it gets there and more refined.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely over time, so thank you everyone. Thank you to the great panelists here, and thanks to all of you.
John Marie.
Thanks to John Marie. Give him a special show of hands.
Thank you. So I want to thank everyone.
Thank you.
For being here. It was a long midday, I can say, with 5 panels. A big thank to Lakshmi for the support. There at the beginning, from I can say the beginning to now, and thank you so very much.
No, thank you. But Jean-Marie, you are a forever educator, and you do so much to serve the people of all communities and bringing this together. So truly thanks to you for this opportunity. It's not easy to organize an event of this nature with such amazing guests that we have in the audience that ask wonderful questions. And of course, words beyond, the panelists were amazing. Such a breadth of diverse experiences and translating their area of expertise that connects to all of us who may not have that particular knowledge. So that kudos to you for really focusing on how you can provide resources and education to the community so that, again, we can all win together.
Thank you so very much. So see you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know if
You do such a fantastic job, I must tell you that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You really doing over and above.
Yeah.
How you started with music.
You remember that?
And then it wasn't so great, and then you did this,
Yeah.
which is a huge improvement.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I never had the chance to tell you, I was watching your stuff that you did. First of all, the art, just look at the art here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I was looking at the things that you published from the 2 years ago when we did it at the downtown Miami.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago.
James
James.
Center.
and I looked at what you have done.
Yeah.
I looked at the video of us.
Thank you.
And you did such a fantastic job, not only with the video, but all around it, the artwork.
Thank you, I appreciate
Who
it.
did this artwork?
I did all of them.
It is just such a fantastic job. I had to take time to explicitly tell you that.
Thank you.
Just in case that you didn't understand that you did an absolutely fantastic job.
I appreciate it.
And this is why I was talking to you the other day. You didn't understand, and I didn't do a good job explaining it to you because you have to go and drive 2 hours.
Exactly.
Here
I
and
drove this
there.
morning, and I come back in a few.
And you go back and forth in 9 hours, and after 12 in the rush hour.
Exactly. If you leave at 2, believe it, you will be
It
there
takes
at
twice
7,
as much time.
exactly.
But you do such a fantastic job.
Let me ask them
Just
to take
keep
a
it
video
up.
of you. Gary, give me just a. Charlie,
I just wanted to thank you so much. Okay.
You know, you did a fantastic job. I must tell you, you were the best panelist here in the sense, no, really, that you really had the legal knowledge, you know. The most complicated,
Yeah, I forgot. I went to a client yesterday.
you know, the most complicated,
Do you want it? Will you use it?
the most complicated,
This is a coaster, right? Yeah. Would you like a coaster?
yes, very
I love
nice.
them. I have them all over my desk.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have them at home. You know, another friend of mine.
We got it from some other people and we use it all the
You know,
time.
even one of my first TA, he had a birthday party and his
My
kids.
teaching assistant from 45 years ago.
You still have it, right?
No,
Yes.
they made little coasters with his pictures. And I was saying, what are you giving coaster? I said, what night? And then all of a sudden I saw his picture, but I'm saying, I have it on my breakfast table, you know what I mean?
I have to tell you, we do a lot of work with like in-house counsel where we work just with IP counsel.
Right.
Like my people that we've had that I've met like years and years ago, I'll give them the coaster and they take it with them. And then when they go to the new business, whatever they call me and they're like, I remembered you because of your coaster.
We have it always on our kitchen table.
No, I'm saying, how brilliant. You're the first one that I've ever seen use it on a business card. Have you seen
I'm
it?
heading out because I have to go to
I'll go with you. Okay.
county office. It's Asian American Heritage Month, and they have an event to kick off the month. So I have to go there. The mayor's there, so I'm late, but that's okay. So
I will walk out with you because I got to get back up and I've got meetings.
But this is a brilliant idea.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you know,
Thank you so much.
the legal issues are the more challenging. It is such a
mess.
A mess, exactly a
It's
mess.
pretty much just a mess.
You picked it up in the best way.
No, but
It's a total mess.
No, but think about
And when you have
Everybody
10 different hands involved in the
AI.
same thing.
How could you not tell an inventor you cannot use AI?
They use it all the time. I hate it.
You know what the university
but
did?
It's almost like it's almost like saying you're not going to don't use your computer.
The University of Miami published to the faculty, don't use AI because we are concerned about the risk. How can I not? I teach about it and I have to use it in my classes. How will I not?
Use it in your classes.
No, everybody uses it.
Yeah,
but
the problems become with patents.
No, but what they've done at the university, nobody uses it. Use our AI
because it sucks.
And that's right. And they signed the contract with Microsoft and they want to use Copilot that sucks.
Yeah.
And I cannot teach it because it is so bad.
Terrible.
And then they paid.
Out too?
Yeah, and they paid a fortune.
Okay, you have your bag?
Yeah.
Where is it?
There.
So it's very interesting. The companies are.
Excuse me, you just had great comments, you know.
I love her.
And many times the engineering aspect of it is forgotten because the ballpark of it is the invention. Without the invention, you have nothing. And people don't realize it. And they forget about the engineer and the inventor.
Yeah, exactly.
Without him or the athlete, there's nothing. So
Yeah, I mean that's what this is the only time where technologies become so important.
Yes.
Like along with sports, that you need to understand both aspects of it, even in terms of designing policies and IPs around that.
That's
like,
right.
If you don't
So what
understand
is your
the technology-
background?
Yes, so I'm an
She's an
engineer by
engineer
trade.
and
What,
she has-
what kind of engineering?
I was in software engineering, and
Really?
but I was more passionate about the AI and data infrastructure place, like building data infrastructure.
And what do you
for
do
health.
now?
I'm in the women's health space right now.
Really?
And,
In the women what?
Women's health and women's
Wom-
sports.
Oh.
Yeah,
Women's
invest
health.
in women's health.
What do you invest
You ask very good questions.
in? Yeah, really. So that's good. That's good. So take it. Maybe we can connect. I'm at the University of Miami, and I do also health informatics. A lot with the University of Miami Medical School, translational
Okay.
research.
I mean, yeah, I was actually talking to them. So, I mean, I feel like the tech space in Miami is missing.
Oh,
So
well,
I really want to bring that to Miami.
No, it's missing
So,
incredibly. Yeah, we've
Yes,
done
yes.
a number of things. Yeah.
So I really want to collaborate
Yeah.
with universities
Indeed,
and
right.
work with I'm actually working with policymakers and decision makers to see how we can foster more entrepreneurship here and incentivize founders to
So
start
have you
their
been in
company.
Miami for a long time, or
No, it's been just four months, and that's why I'm
Really?
like, no,
Where were you
because
before?
I mean, I've lived in SF, I've lived in New York, Chicago, so I see a lot of
It has
great opportunity in Miami.
But once you think it's really, it should be more than it is. It always
exactly.
After you go from the superficial, you go down and it goes, where's the meat? Compared to, I was in the Bay Area too, San Francisco and others, and then you keep on thinking it has potential, but where's the next
It
step?
has great
potential, but that's it right there. So
But many
it's an
times you cannot materialize or
That's because it has to come from the policy level.
realize the potential. You can die with potential.
Yeah, exactly. It has to come from politics. There are many campaigns where like mayors and governors are promoting that. So you all have to just mimic what they're trying to do and like build your own thing so that they take your deal. Like that's how it works.
Right.
So that's why like coming from a VC world, like you need to work from top down.
Nice to meet you. I sent you a connection. Sure. The government industry, because I was at Monaco. I worked now I'm developing channels for supporting
What platform?
We create different agents with different expertise on finance, strategy, or depending on what kind of support the work we need.
And this is agents, AI agents.
That what are they doing, the agents?
So you support the work.
So what problem are you trying to solve?
Well, when you have a board meeting, you receive a lot of information. Presentation, and you need
Just
to
give me one
check. And you need to analyze that. And we create this platform to support the advisors or the board members to analyze or create different scenarios and to improve the way that they take the decisions in the board meetings with this.
So what does it mean? What is the agent doing? Taking video of the board meeting? What is the support means what?
Analyze the information.
Analyze the talk. Analyze.
What are they analyzing? So I'm a board member.
Let's say we're in a board now.
You receive a lot of information,
Okay.
PDFs,
Right,
documents,
right.
and we can analyze before your meeting all of that information and give you different analyses.
Okay, so this is, Notebook LM?
Not like that, but not like that because this is only like, but give you or give you more support or more advices or more.
So you're going to give me some. So if I'm going to be meeting,
But nothing in real time.
No, it's going to prepare you.
But after the meeting, let's say that we are in the board right now.
To prepare you.
To prepare you before the meeting.
But during the meeting and after the meeting.
We can we can support during the meeting because at the end the inputs are audio, recording of the
Video,
meeting.
Okay,
But
so I
in
can.
terms, how do you, as a company, depending on your regulations, how much do you want to share with this platform? You know.
Right now, everything was recorded here.
Yes, analyze
like we were in a board here, how would your agent help in real time what happens here now?
Yes.
And you asked very good questions. How can you get your questions into the agent?
Yes, and at the end.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
I was hired.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
I don't have any right.
I didn't know.
You're not going to get the millions.
I was hired.
I didn't know.
Yes, and yes, we are in the phase of launching the product.
Okay, you have
on half pilots. You know?
I see.
Okay.
And
but it's just for your audience or boards. That's what you're saying.
Advisors.
Board advisors. So it's very specialized.
Additional layer of support.
And what was the impetus to do board advisors? There's a lot of summaries.
But right now there is no real time. Right now.
No.
Maybe in the future.
No.
Well, because sometimes, depending on your expertise as advisor of a board member, and but this supports with news, with additional information.
Right. It's basically a board advisors prep for the meetings and preps for discussions. I guess.
And at the end of the meeting, probably you have results.
Exactly.
You have results of the meeting, and then you need to take additional actions. And the follow-up of all of these agreements during the meeting, for example.
Okay.
Because at the end, as a board member, you take decisions and you assume
so
that someone else.
So who do you see as your closest competitor? What is the closest competitor? Because I see a lot of companies are doing summarization.
So I'm building the new platform, which is a hybrid of music, videos, and live events. So I can put you in any event.
Wait, so that's incredible. So I graduated last year. I studied computer science and music. I studied in Connecticut, so it's a very different world.
Totally.
At a small liberal arts college called Wesleyan University.
And actually, I know that one.
Oh, really?
It's music, more like music driven.
Yeah, so I was definitely like in the music tech side because they have like a strong experimental music, and so I specialized in like virtual spaces for music. So I did a lot of music installations. And so I actually went to like MIT last year, and I worked in like a virtual reality competition and I did like a music project. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I built a platform that I can put you any event. It doesn't need to be music. It can be sports. It can be any event, like the Oscars or whatever, the Grammys, whatever. So I can put you always VIP. Well, you know about it, so I don't need to explain. So I built that, but mine is a hybrid. So it's like music, like a Spotify, videos like YouTube, and all the events.
What about an event like this? How can you use your platform? What would the platform do if a Jean wanted to use your platform to promote what has been happening here?
Well, there are two options. If he couldn't make it, we can bring him as a hologram, and he can do it from his home virtually. So he can.
But nothing in real time, first of all.
Everything is real time. It's live.
So what would you do? You have 5 cameras here.
It all depends what point of view you want. There's only.
Just give us an example so we can understand what your platform could do.
Okay, so let's say I want to see you're performing. I can be right next to you virtually, and I can be at home enjoying your concert. Live.
But you use the cameras. What exactly is your platform doing?
The cameras are do the trick.
So the camera, the platform, there is an agent in the camera that is part of your platform?
An agent?
Or what is in the camera? Just video?
It's like TV streaming, like you streaming to the TV, right?
So you have several computers here. You have several computers here. You have cameras inside the computer that record the videos. and you have cameras. She has a camera, and there were some professional cameras.
These are like special cameras.
Specialty cameras. It has to be a 180 or 360.
Okay, now you're talking something that I can
It's
understand.
a 3D, 4D is not the regular cameras.
360 is not good enough. It has to be.
360 is the camera that I will use, or 180. Probably for this space is 180. For a soccer
Why?
game,
Because you want to capture the audience too.
No, I mean,
No?
no, it's just, there's not enough space to do a 360. Like there's a wall
Why?
there.
There's cameras, some of them are this
It's more
size.
like the scope, because I mean there's small cameras, but the amount of things that they can cover is not.
No, it's not that small though. No, it's not. I can promise you, it's not a regular camera. You cannot do
Okay.
it. Oh, it's a specialty camera.
So you
that-
place the camera in the middle.
We place the camera and we stream out of the camera into the.
Okay,
the
now we're
platform,
talking in a language
into
that I can understand.
Okay, in the platform. So technically, you're watching the event live.
And then the platform processes it and makes it available.
Restream it, basically.
Restream it. Okay, I got it.
Now
I started
stream
to.
that live into
It's LiDAR or what kind of? You know what LiDAR is, or?
No.
Okay, I start to get the idea.
Yeah, no, but technically, her and I want to talk.
Mhm.
I want to see her. She's doing performing, and I want to see her.
Oh.
But I'm in Europe. I can transport myself through virtual reality and be next to her.
I see.
Yeah,
And that is through the camera.
Well, the
So
camera has to be there.
You have to bring the camera to a
If
performance.
there's no camera, like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
said, it's
yeah.
about the scope, it's
I
about
got
the
it.
visualization. If the camera is not the proper camera, then you're gonna watch it on like a regular TV. Like
And
you
it
have
is
to
a
have the-
camera that you bought it from a third party, or you developed the camera? Or?
No, the cameras are already developed. No, it's too expensive.
So you just take the output of the camera and
We take the stream
your
of the
platform takes the stream of the camera and further processes it.
That is correct.
I got
Just
it.
like they do the TV. TV, what they do, they
Right.
stream into the
Right,
TV.
right.
We will stream into virtual
And
reality.
they restream it.
Which
yeah.
is immersive. Well,
I see.
you know how cool it is, right? I mean, I always say that AI, everyone talks about AI, I'm bored, because AI enhances systems. Virtual reality changes human
I was
behavior.
gonna say it's crazy how much progress they've done on especially because I follow the video game side, because there's a lot of intersection between virtual reality and video game development. Like that they can already make 3D virtual maps. And
I don't care much about AI, but
yeah,
I really
but
don't.
it is like a reality. Yeah, you at least have to see
for-
what's happening and
Yes.
not that you have to get involved with it necessarily.
So you know what I'm working on? I use about 20% AI. I'm more into the data structure, which is Web 3.0. They were saying Web 3.0, blockchain, and smart contracts, and quantum computing. So that's more on the cybersecurity part of it I'm working on, because AI is just for augmented reality. I'll use AI. Augmented reality, that's pretty much it, or digital twins and stuff like that.
I wonder, so you guys focus more on the distribution aspect of
For now, yes.
Okay.
That's where the money is. You don't want to build a
I
headset.
mean, unless you're a tech company.
For the cameras, you don't want to build the cameras. If you have enough money, I would.
It depends, it depends on the situation.
No, you let somebody else build
Not
it.
everybody is
Who
capable.
knows?
Not everybody is capable of building a camera. Are you capable of building a camera?
Because I did some work on a physics lab with camera calibrations. Those are a whole different world, and there's people who are specialized in that, and it's a lot of technical knowledge. So the people who work on virtual, it's a completely different thing. I mean, there's intersections, because at the end of the day, you need to know about calibration systems to be able to make scales and stuff look right. But at the end of the day, there's two.
You know about
I
self-driving?
hire someone who knows about it.
You know about self-driving cars?
Yeah, I mean that's
This
this
is-
is very different things.
But this is all built on a camera.
Yeah, but at the end of the
But
day,
it's not a camera that you are able to manufacture and produce or understand.
I'm not into the hardware. I'm more into the software. Hardware meaning that you're building the equipment.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
more on the software part of it.
Underneath the hardware, there is software.
I don't want to build the hardware. She knows how difficult it is. All the calibration, all the models, all the
everything is difficult.
What like technology stack do you use for like the? I mean, because you distribution, you said like Web3, and then you started talking about like blockchain. Is it mainly web technology?
It's a web app.
Yeah.
It's more like a web app
Yeah.
instead of the app that we use right now on our phones. So this is more like really
Yeah, no,
on
I mean,
the cloud.
I develop web apps, so I know, yeah.
So, well, I don't need to explain it.
So it is a cloud app, your platform works?
No, well, no. What
through
happens
an
is
app?
that what we have now is applications that go in your phone. That's why they sell you $1,000 phones, but we're not going to need that anymore. The web app, which is the Web 3.0 is coming, is going to get rid of the phones.
So you don't need to download anything?
No, everything will be completely on the cloud, right?
Yeah.
She knows her stuff. So you went to MIT or you just
I will not need a phone anymore. Like what?
my goal is now you won't. Just think about it.
What's
So
your
why,
name?
Why do you use your phone?
I'm Christina.
Christina, I see you in a lot of
So we can
meetings,
have a conversation.
Here?
I mean, like
especially here. I saw you in other places too.
It's my first time, so maybe I'm
I was going through what I need.
How long have you been in Miami?
So I actually don't live in Miami.
No?
No, I just came down, but I live up
things on the
Palm
ground
Beach
that
now.
you're.
What about
Palm Beach, and you never came to Miami before?
No.
So I must be wrong.
with the glasses on?
You must be looking
You
at
back
somebody.
what you know or what you want
And
to
you
think
study, and you live now in Palm, or where do you live? Yeah.
So it's nice.
Cool.
And you are a performer, he
So let me
said?
tell you the other one.
So I'm
we
a
use our apps
software developer
mostly-
and a musician.
We use our phones for the
And
apps.
what software did you develop?
You
I
access
mainly
your bank
make
account. Let's just put your bank account.
web applications.
The fact
Like
of the matter
what?
is that you really
No,
downloading
for
your
my company.
profile into
What's an example of something that you did for your
I will
company?
say you will not use any of my applications because I make them for my company themselves. It's not
You
like
don't know anything about it. Me, besides, I'm not asking to use it. I'm asking to understand what you are capable of doing and what you are doing.
And then
I make
gonna
like
connect it directly. And then
like
it's gonna,
What is your company?
technology distribution systems for.
Technically,
So I work at a homeowner's insurance.
You want to look at your
Homeowner insurance?
biometrics.
You work for an insurance company?
You can do.
And this is your company, or you work
No,
for?
so I'm on the technology side. I'm not like I'm not an entrepreneur.
But you work for the company,
Yeah, of course.
and you make application for this insurance company. What kind of applications?
So it's really what the
More or
company
less.
needs. It's more like
For
it's
example,
processes.
For what we use the phones for, which is
processing policies, or
No, so I'm more on the facilitation of the people who make those policies.
Yeah, we can do
themselves.
voice
So I like
text.
distribute like licenses,
Well, you're a
like
software engineer,
basically
so
scale
you
systems.
know
Like for example,
that
like having
we're heading
like data talk from one side to the other. And so on, so on.
data what?
Like data, like
Transfer from one place to another?
it's more like we receive a lot of analysis from like companies that like take the data from the, for example, the drones that manage all like the damage from storms. So we have to process that.
To assess the damages, or
Yeah, essentially.
or wearables.
there is another presentation?
Exactly. That's why I asked you this question in the first place because I'm like you.
It's like OpenBCI. They do like VR, and they also have like the EKG attached to the VR headsets. Like it's a lot of computing power. Like it just like fried my computer right away. But
One of the biggest hurdles that we have is computer power because
yeah,
it takes a
literally,
lot.
they're like, oh yeah, forget about laptop. And I was like, wow, but you know that's what I have right now. But it's rapidly
I
scaling.
put my headset on, I have like 5 computers open at the same time, and I can be super efficient on it. Like, it's so
Or like,
cool.
at least with like the Vision Pro, that it's so nice. Like you have it literally like the top
The Vision Pro, the quality is insane. But it doesn't, it's like the iPhone, there's no much functionality. In comparison to other
No,
phones.
to like there's like
The Apple
Meta,
Vision
the
Pro, the
Apple-
quality is amazing, but you cannot do much with it. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, the boyfriend told me you have to talk to my girlfriend.
So this is your company that has the platform?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a very nice person.
And who is your customer?
We
Who
are
is your ideal customer?
We are a B2B and B2C. Anyone who likes music is our customer. Anyone who likes entertainment, sports, and all that it's our customer.
B2C and B2B.
Yeah, B2B will be advertisers because it's a platform where we can have advertisers, sponsorships, and all that. And the B2C is customers who want to listen to music, watch videos, and watch live events in virtual reality.
What about events like football events,
Of course,
like
yeah.
University of Miami, for example?
Events include football, soccer, basketball, baseball, tennis, you name it, it doesn't matter. We're not limited to.
So what would you do if you have an event like this event, for example? And
Then we can
it's
do
an event, let's say, that's sponsored by Miami-Dade or University of Miami.
If they want to have it virtually, we can have it virtually.
So you bring your camera,
That's it.
and the camera will be here.
And then you can be at home and you can watch it from home, like you if you were here, like you were sitting there. Actually, you can select the seat whether you want to sit.
So when you have classes, for example, that are hybrid of physical classes in the classroom, plus students around the world virtually all at the same time.
Yeah. Right now they watch it through a TV. If you want to make it more immersive.
Some of them watch it on a computer, some of them watch it on a phone.
If you want them to be interactive, you can have in their physical as holograms, like kind of physically be there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like we have 5 people here as holograms, and we virtually, then we can have a conversation about whatever.
So we can have 2 people like me and you, and you can add a third person.
You can add as many as you want.
For example, and to the viewer it will appear like the third person is also here.
That is correct. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The tech is pretty awesome.
And how expensive is this camera? More or less, ballpark.
Usually like $200,000.
So it's not a camera that me and you can afford.
It's not a camera that not many people can afford.
So you have to have revenue that justifies the investment in a camera like that. And you have camera like it? You lease the camera or?
We lease the camera.
You lease the camera, okay.
It's better because the tech changes quickly, so.
And also the cash.
You don't want to buy it.
It depends if you are doing things like that, like a University of Miami that has football games.
I love it.
And they make $1 million from every weekend. Then 200,000 is nothing. But it depends, and they pay a fortune to professional crews and to television stations. There's a whole industry.
Yeah.
So for them, 200,000 is nothing. But you have to look at the revenue stream.
I mean,
but the
revenue will be amazing, right? Because
the revenue is amazing now.
Yeah.
So they can afford, if it is something that really adds a lot of value to them.
Well, this is like a new channel of revenue for them.
Yes.
So we won't be competing with the physical part of it. We will provide it as a new revenue for them. And
no, you're making things that the current technology doesn't do.
Yeah.
Especially on a large scale, when you're talking worldwide live broadcasting of
you can be anywhere and watch.
College basketball and all kinds of things like that.
You can be anywhere and watch the football game. Actually, I watch the University of Miami football games with my headset. But it's not immersive, it's just a bigger screen. Because they don't have that yet.
Yeah. Oh, which company manufactures the camera?
There are a few.
Give me an example of one so I can maybe familiar. Nokia, the telephone company?
Yeah, well, they do cameras.
I know.
So they have that capability.
No Japanese company?
No, not that I know of, but I'm sure there are some.
And Chinese?
Chinese, there's always Chinese. It's never good.
And the company headquarters, where is that? In Miami?
In Miami. Mine is Miami.
The customer acquisition is the problem. How can you get customers right now?
Well, that is the goal, that through music we're gonna get customers to the virtual reality, so that adoption exists. So
when you you'll be selling the music. How would you get any revenue?
Music will be free, subscriptions, exclusive, like Spotify. Spotify only.
So the subscription will be between you and the customer, and between you and the university if they decide to.
That was the sponsorships or
Oh, I see. So they will advertise on the platform?
Or they could be partners. We can create alliances and I want to partner with you. Partnership is better than sponsorship because they get part of
They can do both. For the advertising, they can, or the partnership can include part of the advertising.
It all depends who
you have to structure the
it all depends on the businesses. Yeah, you got to structure whatever.
The business, you know what it is. It is football, swimming, tennis, all the sports.
Basketball.
And having Olympian, the jump from the high jump. And
anything.
You have several Olympic swimming pools with Olympian prepares for the Olympic and
even this, the graduation ceremony, we could have it live.
Yeah, in
people who are not here
around the world.
Their kids,
they have a whole.
They could just.
They have a whole stadium from graduation, and a lot of the parents are from all over the world.
Yeah, I love that. I've gone to a few of them at the University of Miami.
And you are cash flow positive now, or?
No, we haven't launched yet.
Oh, you haven't launched
looking for
yet?
investors now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, because it takes a lot of money to process, and you gotta pay for each member that comes in. You gotta pay AWS or Google services for that transaction to happen.
You host it on the cloud. So you have to pay for hosting services?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And each transaction that happens, you got to pay for it. So it becomes very expensive. That's how they make money. They don't make money, not even on Amazon.
I know, but for an individual like you to be involved in it, it's
a big task.
Yeah, it's a big task.
But it's awesome. I wouldn't do it any other way.
You can enjoy it, but you have to live too.
No, I mean, if the investment comes
you have enough capital to last for a while until.
Of course, yeah, no, absolutely. That's the way it works.
Yeah, I don't know you, so I'm asking.
That is the way it works. You try to get investors, you try to bootstrap. It's called bootstrapping, as long as you can.
Where are you from?
Honduras.
Honduras. Oh, good luck.
You bootstrap until.
Sounds like a good idea.
It's a great idea.
But
the
devil is in the details, how you execute it.
It's about execution.
That's right. If you execute it well, you may be getting investment and also customers.
Oh yeah, no. In 6 months you will hear from me. I promise you.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Next year you're
right.
I met that guy right there.
Oh, which guy? The venture capital?
You're gonna say, I know, I met that guy. Really? He said in 6 months.
Well, I hope so.
No, you don't have to.
Good luck.
There's another way.
Does it have a name or something?
Creator 70.
Oh, Creator 70?
7D. D.
D, like 3D?
It's
70. Okay, I got the idea.
3D.
But it's not so obvious,
11 dimensions.
What is it before the letter 8? What is it before that?
This is just a key to the universe.
Oh, a key. Okay.
How are you?
Good. Okay, ready?
Yeah, ready.
Go.
Hey, you need an assistant?
No.
You sure?
I'm good, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it's good.
Okay, you got everything.
It's so quick,
And you can carry all of that by yourself?
Yeah, it's so nice.
You have time. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
If you need help, I'll be glad to help you.
No, I'm good.
Are you sure? Because I see you need the truck for.
No. It's so.
Okay.
It's live.
All right. So good luck. Thank you.
Let me just see what's here.
What is this all about?
The
A classroom?
Yeah, they had an event. Let's go.
Oh, they had an event
Yeah. Or they're entrepreneurs.
for entrepreneurs?
For their students, Latin.
And
Latin.
oh, this way in the classroom there, they speak.
What?
I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'll show you where it is, right here.
I know.
Right around on the other side.
I went there 100 times.
I snuck in to get some coffee. This is an officina.
Some kind of a lab too.
Yeah, it's our office.
The idea something.
Yeah, it's around the corner. I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went already. I just caught the one.
Yeah.
It was
So
much
just
better than we thought.
hold the coffee for a minute.
Yeah.
You will wait for me here?
Yep, okay.
So I can put my bag here.
I'll put my bag here.
Just stay here for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on back here.